I have been told that I will be absolutely broken by SCP-001 when day breaks. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. I don't know if this is like a whole sun type shit. Like, I don't know what is going on. But I feel like in the comment section of my SCP lore deep dives, this is one of the most requested. So we're going to be jumping into this one right now.
And walking for days, your body aches. You're dripping with sweat from the heat of the sun,
I don't know. I feel like this entire issue that he's about to describe does not exist if you just simply never touch grass. Ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate hack's ability of not leaving your house has once again successfully thwarted a giga threat.
Down overhead, and yet you're wrapped up in layers upon layers of clothing. Even your face is covered, and you're wearing thick black goggles so that not a single centimeter of your body is exposed.
What?
Your journey has been long, and you feel like you might die from exhaustion
What is
or
going
from
on?
overheating due to these multiple layers of clothes. But dying is better than being—
What? Wait, whoa! If it's so hot, why are you wearing—
exposed. You saw it happen when your entire team changed. The light cannot be trusted, not even for a fraction.
Oh my, wait, the light, this light is the SCP? This light is the SCP, and if it sees your skin, it melts you? Is that the gimmick here?
Of a second.
That's
It's been like this
horrifying.
for years. You've learned and survived through pain.
For years? Dude, just leave the desert. Oh my god, who do you think you are, Moses?
Full experience. Many of those you used to know cannot say the same. You've been alone for so long. You might have given up all hope if it wasn't for the distress signal coming from a nearby SCP Foundation containment facility, Site 46.
Okay.
Any kind of survivors would be better than nothing, no matter
I
what
guess.
kind of sorry shape they were in, as long as they were still human.
Yep, that might be one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen. What is the monster? What is this SCP? The light? The light in this specific location?
You find your way to an opening in the side of a mountain and slide into the cave,
Okay.
hoping you weren't spotted. The whole world is crawling with those things now.
What the fuck? The sun is a monster, is an SCP. It's all over the world. It just melts creatures into each other in this weird body horror pile of shit, people.
You can't
It
let
doesn't melt you, it turns you into like a living flesh blob zombie.
yourself be seen. As you trudge down the cave towards the entrance, you see what looks like a huge black snail trail splattered on the ground, leading into the
Okay.
facility. You try to avoid it and press on. You don't even need a key card to enter. The door has been left ajar.
Ah! Oh my god, I'm actually shaking. What is even going on?
The facility reeks of those things, but you can't see any of them. You just hope they've moved on and left some human survivor.
Dude, what is this? This amalgamation of this is like Dark Souls shit, except
in their way.
literally scarier. What is even going on? Join the blob. Join the blob!
The place looks abandoned. Every step you take echoes through the empty halls. When you find that the elevator's out, you take the stairs all the way down to level B5, Keter Containment.
Okay.
Lucky for you, it seems all the cells are empty now.
Oh my god, why is that lucky for you? That's horrifying. Wait, how is this fitting into the lore of the overarching SCP world? But why is it SCP-001?
Horrors that were kept inside of them have all long since
No, it's my boy. It's the doctor guy, the immortal lizard guy. I know these
flown
guys.
the coup. You keep following that slimy black trail until you find an abandoned office. There are no people here anymore. Just a broken barricade, some empty medicine bottles, and a bucket that the people inside the office had apparently been using as a toilet. You breathe a sigh of disappointment at finding no one alive here, but you're at least relieved to be out of the sun. You can finally remove your jacket and head wrap. With your uncovered eyes, you notice that a nearby computer terminal is still powered up.
Wait, so let me get this straight. Is this an alternate universe right now? Where in this universe, it's SCP-001? Because this is the only SCP that matters. Because with this SCP existing, every other bit of creation that's touched by the sunlight becomes an amalgamous blob. You don't need SCP-002 because when day breaks is literally too dangerous for any other life to survive. That's harrowing.
Sit down at the desk and turn on the monitor. Because of the emergency procedures put into place in a K-class scenario like this, safeguards no longer apply. You can access all the information you need, up to and including finding out what actually happened. In the dull glow of a nearby emergency light, you see a dark shape slumping through the halls.
Oh god, bro! Freaking is horrifying. It's just an amalgamous blob. What are they, communists?
You tense up, then exhale as it slithers off into an adjoining hall. You're safe, for now. The terminal has finally loaded and authenticated your access.
Let's go.
You're staring at the file for SD Lock's proposal.
All right,
for
let's look up SD logs, small dick logs. That's the ultimate. If I added something called SD logs, standing for small dick logs, no one would look because my cock is so big. It's like a kaiju down there.
SCP-001 When Day Breaks. It's the only name you can give the apocalypse your world is currently experiencing.
It's an actual apocalypse. 001 is an actual apocalypse.
This is one of the only anomalies in the entire history of the SCP Foundation to be given the Apollyon Containment class, meaning containment is truly impossible.
Bro! Actually insane. So the Apollyon class is far beyond anything I've ever seen.
SCP-001 is the most dangerous enemy that the Foundation and planet Earth has ever faced. It's always been the principle of the SCP Foundation to battle in the dark so that the civilian world can thrive in the light. But now the light has become the enemy. Anyone exposed to any amount of sunlight for even the briefest period of time is subjected to the effects of SCP-001. And those effects—
And it schmerbles them! It literally Cronenbergs all of them!
—are beyond horrifying. The SCP Foundation Administrator released an urgent memo telling Foundation personnel to make their way to Site-19 at all costs. Because they need all the help they can get. Those exposed
But
to
what do you even do against this? You can't blow up the sun. Like, what even are you going to do?
001 in the process are no longer considered human. Their new designation is SCP-001-A.
Oh my god. Anyone that gets touched by this light is instantly losing their status of a human.
These new entities are to be avoided at all costs. But in case of emergencies, the administrator says it is permitted to cut off parts of your transformed comrades and eat them to avoid starvation.
Bro, it's not called cannibalism anymore because they're just no longer considered human. There's no winning. This is so much scarier than like a zombie apocalypse, for example. In a zombie apocalypse, you feel like there's some way you could counteract it. Maybe there's some sort of drug that could save the day. There is no future.
The memo empathically states that no attempt should be made to kill them, since you won't succeed. You'll just put yourself at risk. When the sun changed and became SCP-001, it instantly affected 6.8 billion innocent people. The second the visible light touched them, whether it was from the sun itself or even reflected
Wait, so just one day it got this ability? One day it got the SCP-001 qualities that started melting people?
The moon, their bodies liquefied.
The reflection off the moon? I thought at least you could, during the night you could get out. There is literally no way.
Melting like candle wax into puddles of living gelatinous slime.
Yeah.
This effect isn't isolated to humans either. Any biological entity exposed to sunlight immediately underwent the same irreversible melting process into
Any biological life? That's plants.
SCP-001-A. And the horror had only just begun. People transformed into SCP-001-A will remain shades of their former intelligence and personality. They may even try to will their new gooey mass into a shape resembling their original form.
Oh my god, it didn't just happen instantly that as they started melting their humanity. It was a slow process of slowly losing who they are. The slowly losing yourself. Bro, this is a certified Maiden Abyss moment.
However, these individuals will lose their sense of self if they come into contact with other instances of SCP-001-A. When they come together, 001-A instances will bond on a molecular level, wading up into horrific giant blobs with only one purpose.
They just become Envy from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Integrating more matter into their bodies.
These guys are gonna need some Pokimane cookies vitamin D soon because there's no way you're gonna survive this shit. Oh my lord, this is a nightmare.
That's why they have to be avoided.
This is just gonna be a world inhabited by Discord and Reddit mods that never saw sunlight.
All costs. You continue to search the computer terminal for answers. Perhaps there was some kind of contingency plan put in place for this. Some way to reverse the effects, or at least escape the nightmare Earth has become. Instead, you find a series of attachments linked to the SCP-001 file, detailing what seems to be the last days of the people who'd barricaded themselves in the facility. Most prominent among these were researcher Dr. Logan Igata, her wife Ari, a security officer named Commander Anad, and a few others.
Alright,
Dr.
so
Igata.
These are the people that I guess they were in the base when this started. They survived a couple of days until what? Like, I guess, like, dude, do you even want to live in a world like this anymore?
Had locked herself in the office where she recorded her final messages to the world. In the first audio log, Dr. Igata and her companions seemed afraid, but hopeful that there may be some way out of this situation. Dr. Igata reported that most of the workers at the facility were transformed during the initial event.
Obviously.
Their melted bodies had fused outside the facility.
Oh my lord, this is a hellscape.
They were trying to bust their way back in.
I don't know, guys. I guess it's just a future as an SCP-001-A. That's the future. Embrace the blob. Become a communist.
Had held so far, though, and they seemed confident they would hold
50
long
weeks
enough
a year is darkness, yes, but the moon reflects the sunlight.
For them to figure out a way to escape this awful situation. You open the second attachment, an incident report, and realize things may not have been as hopeful as Dr. Igata let on.
Oh my god, even in this hopeless situation, it's still not as hopeful as you thought. Oh god.
Reported hearing the huge mass of melted creatures hammering on the door outside again, begging for them to come out and experience the sun with them. They wanted desperately to add to their ever-growing biomass. In order to experiment with what exactly would happen, they sent out one of their few remaining D-classes wearing a full protective
This is the end of the SCP Foundation. This is the end of everything.
Suit. He didn't last long.
Well, yeah,
the huge creature grabbed him with tentacles made of reconstituted flesh.
Ah!
He began ripping off his protective suit as he screamed for mercy. It was a monster made of dozens of people and animals. He could never overpower it. The second the sun touched his skin, he melted away and was absorbed by the great mass holding him in place.
Well, time to become fantasy dwarves. Live in the mines, live in the caves, don't get vitamin D, enjoy your midnight mini mina cookies, and that's it.
Guns were ineffective against these SCP-001-A super entities. Fire would do no good. It seemed that extremely low temperatures were the only way to slow the immense blobs down. And even then, not permanently.
And even then, what are you gonna do? What, you're gonna fight off every bit of organic life in the universe?
One ray of light in the darkness. The site director had a secret tunnel underneath his office, connected to a tram that could hopefully take them directly to Site 19 without risk of SCP-001 exposure. It was a good plan, and by far the best option they had available to them.
It's an option to survive another day. It's not an option to survive.
Best plans often don't work in practice. You open the next attachment on the terminal. This time, it's a video feed. You can actually see Dr. Logan Igata, and she looks harrowed by what she's experienced. As it turns out, while the others, including her wife Ari, attempted to exit through the tunnel, something had happened.
What?
Dr. Igata heard Ari's voice over her radio.
What?
But there was something wrong with it. It was too low, too guttural.
Dude started murbling. Bro, but he got affected somehow. What? How did he see the light? How did the light find him?
And filled with gurgles. SCP-001 had gotten her. She was changed. The monster from above had crawled in through the ceiling. It had taken them all.
Wait, so it's not just the sun that can liquefy you? It's also the SCP-001-A's that liquefy you? How did the blob sneak up on them? I don't know. Fell out of a freaking air vent in the ceiling. Who knows? It's a blob. It could glurble around.
All of them, and converted them into something less than human. Any hope of escape now seemed gone. Ray told Dr. Igata that it would be fine, that it was such a bright, beautiful day outside, and she was wasting it locked up inside that office. She tormented Dr. Igata with shared memories of their life and love, of that day in the sun.
That's horrible. Remember how we loved each other, you know, before I got turned into living nut.
Where they bound their lives together. The monster with Ari's voice did everything it could to try to convince her to give up and join them, but she wasn't ready to go just yet. You look away from the screen when you hear a sound in the corner. You see a dark puddle of some unknown substance, and then some skeletal hands rising out of it. The hands are pulling themselves out of the puddle, followed by a skeletal face.
My God, what the frick is this? How does this fit into the lore? This is a totally new random power they just came up with.
It's covered in matted hair. You have to stop yourself from screaming until a flash from a nearby security light makes the figure disappear.
What?
It's a normal puddle once again. Your mind is playing tricks on you.
This is just trauma. Man's just traumatized AF.
You open the next attachment, another video, and see that Dr. Igata's condition has deteriorated. She looked pale, frantic, and thin. She was using a knife to draw her own blood onto a piece of blood-stained parchment covered in strange symbols. Igata ranted about her theory. What if 001 took the minds and bodies of its victims, but not their souls?
What? Oh God, she lost it. She just so lost it. Oh my God, it's over. This is the worst. The actual worst SCP I've ever seen.
Performing some kind of arcane blood ritual, she hoped to at least rescue and keep the soul of Ari, even if her mind and body were lost. You open the next attachment. It seemed that Agata's ritual worked, but not in the way she hoped. The twisted soul of Ari, driven mad by SCP-001, had taken over the file. It begins corrupting the text of the SCP-001 file into crazy ranting about how futile it is to fight. It then cuts to an even more frightening video feed. Dr. Igata, in her sleep, tossing and turning in a makeshift bed in the corner of her office.
Well, I guess random blood rituals are now canon.
Approaches her in first person and lingers over her sleeping body. An oily skeletal hand reaches past the camera and runs its fingers through Dr. Igata's hair. It's that exact same hand you saw reaching out of that black puddle earlier. You must have seen Ari's lingering spirit. With a lump in your throat, you open the next attachment and watch the video.
I feel like they really did not need to go down this entire satanic ritual. Bro, this is horrifying enough without getting into that.
You see Dr. Igata, now truly broken. She'd been haunted by Ari's demonic spirit for a long time now, and it is clearly
what is she eating in here?
She is waving around a handgun while she speaks. She now believes there's only one way to escape, but not like this. She doesn't want the gun to draw attention to her body. She doesn't want to become part of that mass, even if she is dead. She opens a drawer on her desk.
Oh my God, dude. Even death doesn't get you out of this.
She's recording at and places the gun inside. Dr. Igata then apologizes to her loved ones who are likely long since dead or assimilated and turns off the recording for the last time. In that moment, you realize there's a single drawer in the desk in front of you.
Oh my God.
When you reach forward and open it, you see the same handgun Dr. Igata was holding is laying inside.
But where is Igata? Where is the doctor, though?
You pick it up and study it, weighing your options. Perhaps there truly is no other way out. Then you see an update on the file. One more attachment has been added while you were studying the gun. You feel your heart pounding in your chest as you reach forward and open the attachment. The text has been changed entirely.
What?
The file on SCP-001 is now a poem, an ode to the sun and to the love they shared.
Wait, hold up, wait. Who's writing this? Where is this intelligence? Is there like some sort of intelligence to this sun?
File spontaneously opens itself on the screen. It's a video of you.
Nope.
Shot.
Nope. We're gone. It's over. Goodbye. Nope. I thought it was horrible enough. Oh God. Oh boy. Get the frick out of there, bro.
From behind, you see those oily skeletal hands reaching for you in the dark.
Oh my God.
Just like they did with Dr. Igata. In that moment, You panic and fire the gun behind you, hoping to scare off the spirit. Instead, the sound of the gunshots attracts something far worse.
Actually horrible. Dude, listen, I guess joining the blob is better.
Immense blob of screaming melted flesh charges towards the office. You try to barricade the door, but it is not enough. The flesh seeps and bursts through and grabs you in its meaty tentacles. You scream and try to escape, but it won't save you. Nothing will save you.
That's that.
The flesh carries you upstairs, out through the empty halls.
Oh my god, into the sun. It just slowly brings you into the sun.
To the cave. You can see the light in the distance as the blob ferries you towards it. You won't be alone for much longer. In fact, you won't be alone ever again.
Oh my lord, that was awful! Join the blob. It's SCP time. It's been a while, we are back. The Lord Nuxanor has returned. Listen, I've been busy with crazy stuff that's been going on that's been super relevant that I've had to cover, and I haven't done SCP in a while, but here we are. This is one of the most highly requested SCPs that I've ever gotten, which is why this is how we're coming back, and we are coming back big, baby. 10,000 likes, and I will do another SCP video ASAP. SCP-001, The Broken God, a Roborocycle. It sounds fucking cool based on the title alone, and that's basically enough of a reason why I'm here to watch it. Let's see if it's actually as good as everyone's saying it is. I'm telling you, I will watch more SCPs if this one's actually good, and this video gets 10,000 likes, and you subscribe, and you go to my Patreon. By the way, something cool that happens, by the way, every time I say subscribe, if you look at the little subscribe button under the video, it actually glows. This is like a brand new feature on YouTube. It's so fucking cool. Anyway.
The smell of fire and oil fills the air.
Me when I'm making schnitzel.
Sound of gears grinding can be heard between the explosions and shrieks of
me when my mom and dad anyway.
Terror. A man runs out of his house, only to have his leg grabbed by a metal arm and dragged back through his front door.
That's scary, Nani? Wait, huh?
SCP-001 leaves a trail of metal fragments and mechanical parts on the ground in the wake.
It's just a Pokemon Kling Clang. What is this?
Of its destruction. Iron chains swing from its form. Cast iron gears whirl within.
This is an SCP-001. I thought all the SCP-001s were like these world-ending, game-changing monstrosities. Like, this is just some little metal boy, some little freaking geary boy.
A glowing light throbs from the center of its body.
I don't know, man. Something else is throbbing, and it's not a glowing light.
SCP-001 is consuming everything in its path. After incorporating the truck chassis into its being, SCP-001 rolls in a lumbering fashion to the next house.
Oh shit, I'm getting invincible reptile vibes. Oh fuck. Wait, so this thing just, as it consumes, it keeps attaching things to its body? Wait, so is this like an unstoppable snowball that just keeps rolling down the hill and get bigger and bigger and bigger?
It rips the gutters from the side of the building.
Dude, this is what boomers think AI is.
Residents who live in the area flee their neighborhood, all the while hoping that the mechanical monstrosity skips over their house, so they have something to return to if they make it out alive.
Oh god, this is just Skynet on meth. Bro, where's the freaking government? Nuke this shit before it gets too big.
Of SCP-001's undercarriage drops away from the main body. It rolls down the street, consuming more and more material. The new entity resembles a human spine and rib cage. It topples over, unable to support itself. The rib-like formations extend out to grab anything and everything within reach. The newly incorporated material forms what can only be described as a head.
Oh my god, it's almost as bald as Keemstar.
Light from within the eye sockets.
Dude, this is just a robot that has the Rimuru ability from Slime Isekai. Shout out to Trix in chat. That is such a good analogy.
Fixate on nearby civilians. The metallic creature picks up the people and places them inside its exposed steel ribcage.
Oh my
then
god, that is gory. What?
And spots a woman helplessly trying to crawl away.
Honestly, it's scarier than the broken god. What's scarier? Chat, put a vote in chat. What is scarier? Spam 1 for the broken god. Spam 2 for women. All right, these are the options. I just want to know. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Listen, this is just for research, obviously. Wow, wow, look at all these people, these misogynists in chat. You know, you guys think you're probably so cool. You think you're so smart. You probably do the hand pussy when you dude, yeah, this is you right now. You right now doing the hand pussy, thinking you're so cool.
Creature reaches out with a spiked tentacle and wraps it around the woman's body. She is placed inside of the chest cavity.
Oh my fucking god, bro. Bro, they just tentacle fucked her and put her in a chest cavity. Jeebus Fleebus.
Moments later, a severed hand falls out of the entity and onto the ground. The mechanical monster continues to gather bodies and materials, incorporating
This is just Vor with extra steps.
them into its frame. A growth begins to slowly expand on its back.
I could think of another growth that slowly expands.
It becomes so massive that the creature falls over and uses its limbs to scurry to a nearby house. There is a sickening crunching sound as the growth bursts. From within emerges three humanoid creatures resembling the civilians that the entity had consumed earlier.
Coincidence?
A female with chains extending
Holy fuck, this is metal. Oh my god, that's actually terrifying. Holy shit.
from her scalp like dreadlocks stumble.
I'm telling you, when they started describing this, I was like, please, it's just mechanical amoeba over here. Come on, bro, come on. Now, holy fuck.
Away.
Just make cyborgs.
The second humanoid is a man with cogs for limbs. He examines the clock-like
Nice cog.
components that have been incorporated into his body, then stares blankly into the distance. The third humanoid lies motionless on the ground. He did not make it. The two functioning humanoids look at their creator intently. For a moment, nothing moves.
Oh my god, is this SCP-001? Because it mechanicalizes the world. It like actually just Borgs everything.
And as if they have been given orders telepathically, the half-human, half-machine humanoids turn and run away from the mayhem. A few weeks before the massacre caused by what would be designated as SCP-001, the Foundation had been in contact with the Allied Occult Initiative.
Bro, it's always these Allied Occult Initiative when we do the 001s. It's like, oh shit, the world's coming to an end. Call the Satanists.
There were rumors of an anomalous object in Mexico being worshipped by a group of people who identified themselves as the Church of the Broken God.
Wait. Oh my god, dude. So wait, so isn't this called the Broken God?
Intel about the church claimed their deity was a small mechanical box filled with cogs and pistons. The box supposedly had supernatural abilities.
So it all started from this little box. This little box just, oh,
Was said to be able to communicate
Oh,
with
God.
congregants of the Church of the Broken God telepathically. The devout worshipped the box, following any order it gave, and in return they were filled with an emotion that could be only described as divine. As World War II rages
Wait, so, and they would sacrifice people to this box? Oh, shit.
on in Europe, the Foundation sends agents to recover anomalies in Mexico that might help with the war effort.
Dude, World War II is going on, and the SCP Foundation, instead of using their army of nukes and shit, they're just like, there is a box in Mexico.
While there, the Foundation force is tasked with learning about the Church of the Broken God. They are also ordered to investigate a town near La Paz, where there are troubling accounts of a mechanical anomalous creature causing mayhem. The agents make their way through Mexico, gathering various objects to bring back to Foundation sites in the United States. The unit loads all of the anomalies they
What's the catch, though? How does this destroy the world?
recovered onto a train, with a plan to check out the stories of the mechanical anomaly they've heard about as they make their way to the US border. The train heads north along rusted rails. Just outside La Paz, they've come across a broken down train filled with what looks to be refugees. When the Foundation unit goes to investigate, they
Nothing
find
weird about that, alright?
all of the refugees repeating the same words over and
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Oh, no.
over again, but they don't understand. The Foundation agents look at one another confused
They don't understand because they don't speak Spanish.
until one of them translates the words into English. The words the refugees
It was Spanish! I was joking! They said a word that no one understood. No, it was actually Spanish! Bro. Español. La máquina.
are saying over and over again are La Máquina, the machine. The commanding officer orders a squad of Foundation agents to proceed up the tracks to see if they can figure out what has
Wait, these guys needed a translator for La Máquina? Are you serious? Bro, dude, what the fuck? These guys have Vosh levels of intellect. Dude, my favorite ever Vosh clip is when Vosh says...
But let's just use the example of water. Maybe we could agree that water is H2O.
This isn't true.
That water has not always been H2O?
Yeah, all you have to do is cross the Mexican border. And over there, it's aqua.
Like, dude.
The refugees so scared, they make their way towards La Paz, disappearing over the horizon. As the sun sets, the remaining Foundation agents hear gunshots in the distance. They stay awake all night, remaining vigilant, waiting for the exploratory squad. But morning comes without anyone returning. 3 days later, the Foundation force still has not seen anything since the exploratory
Wait, so they were just sitting on this train for 3 months?
squad left. Then, as the sun sits lazily in the morning sky, a lone figure is spotted walking down the tracks towards the trains. One of the agents on watch blows his whistle and points to the figure. A squad of agents
God, it's gonna be some sort of cyborg shit, isn't it?
rushes towards the shadow of a man. Their guns are raised, ready for anything. The figure drops to the ground and begins to crawl along the tracks. The agents reach the fallen man, only to find that he is one of their squad mates who has been sent up the
Let's
tracks
go!
to investigate La Paz several days before. The agent's name is DeMarco. He is covered in
Bro, DeMarco is about to get wrecked, dog.
blood. His clothes are in tatters and he has lost a boot. DeMarco lies on his back with Foundation agents standing around him. His eyes are wide and wide.
Oh my God, he's got the lich snail eyes from Adventure Time. Oh God, DeMarco is gonzo.
He keeps babbling on about a world eater, how the rest of his squad had been mulched, and he is the only one who made it out alive. The Foundation agents carry DeMarco back to the makeshift base they created by the trains. They need to figure out a way to get the convoy moving again, but whatever is up ahead has already taken out an entire Foundation squad. It had to be something anomalous, but what could it possibly be?
Oh my God, bro. So this is the epic backstory of this little box that eventually takes over the world, just slowly but surely consuming. I feel like there had to be a way to destroy it though, right? I feel like while it was small, it would have been really easy to annihilate it. Like, nothing becomes a world eater overnight, okay? Okay?
The unit of
Except for maybe Boogie 2988. maybe, except for maybe him.
Foundation agents prepare to move towards La Paz. They start loading their rifles and check the amount of ammunition and explosives available in case the containment process.
What the hell was that, bro? With the
Loading their
grenade.
rifles and check the amount of ammunition and explosives available in
Yes.
case the containment process gets out of hand. Just as they are about to leave the base, a convoy appears.
Bro, dude, Dude is walking up to Mechanical God with a grenade on his shirt in his bare hand.
Appears on the horizon. It is an allied occult initiative force preparing to attack whatever it is that is devastating La Paz. This organization's mission is to not secure, contain, or protect, but to destroy. The Foundation
Based. Listen. Using these things for your personal gain, that's cool. But when something's a world eater,
may be in over their heads on this one, and the joint force with the allied occult initiative may be the only way to stop what is now known as SCP.
dude, I love how the occult initiative is just people with like berets. It's like average French guy. It's just, whatever, occultist.
001. The AOI and Foundation force gears up for battle. They set out for La Paz, and what they find causes them to quake with fear. SCP-001 has consumed so much material, it is the size of a mountain.
Oh my God. Well, bring in the nukes. Listen, America, I'm just saying.
It moves like a tidal wave of mechanical destruction.
Wait, so how isn't it so much bigger by now? So how is it only the size of a man in the present day?
Washing over the buildings and landscape under it. Whatever SCP-001 passes over is consumed and added to its massive body. SCP-001 started as a small mechanical box.
Oh shit, bro. It always starts as like a little nothing. It always starts as a little nothing burger.
With cogs, but now has morphed into a gigantic metal death machine. The Church of the Broken God has finally met their maker. as the small entity they once worshipped has now consumed all of its members. Their god.
Yo, what the fuck? Started to absorb people and that was it. It just started absorb. God damn it, bro.
God is an all-consuming
Nikocado Avocado started eating his editors.
monster. The AOI and Foundation forces
Yeah, that's not gonna do anything. Get the hell out of there and bring a nuke.
do everything they can to stop SCP-001 from continuing its reign of destruction. They fire barrage after barrage of bullets and explosives into the mechanical anomaly. They bring in air support to try and damage it from the skies, but nothing works. The AOI uses an artifact in their possession to lure SCP-001 to the coast of the Pacific Ocean, where a trap has been set for the so-called god. The monstrous mechanical creature moves slowly towards the water. It consumes abandoned cars, buildings, and boats as it approaches the—
Dude, that's insane. It's just the idea of something that just consumes, something that grows, something that no matter what you do to try to destroy it, you just end up feeding it. It's a horrifying mindset.
Coastline. It even shovels large amounts of earth into its form, causing flames to spurt out from its inner workings. Smoke bellows from openings between different mechanical components, like a volcano before it is about to erupt. Suddenly,
It's true though. Think about it. Something that just consumes, like that is something that is truly infinite. Like this is just a mechanical version of a black hole, right? A black hole is just a compression of mass that's super duper compressed, and everything that it absorbs, it sucks into its black hussy. It makes the black hole somehow even bigger and denser, right? This blob, this is just Kirby, okay? Like, I know we're looking at this from the lens of an SCP that's destroying the world, but like, this is just Kirby. This is just a black hole. This is a metaphor for life itself. You just continue consuming.
Seemingly from nowhere, a massive cloud with a reddish tint appears in the sky.
Not good.
Air raid sirens can be heard.
Wait, so this thing could... Okay, yes, it absorbs everything, evil Kirby style, but it just casually controls the weather too?
In the distance, the enormous cloud begins to pulsate. Streaks of lightning shoot through the red mist in the sky.
That's not a cloud, that's a cock.
It now sits directly over SCP-001. From within the cloud, part of a ship can be seen. It appears to be slightly damaged. Electricity flows over its hull. The vessel in the giant red cloud is classified as SCP-2399. The underside of the vessel begins to glow.
I am so confused. What is that?
Aqua blue. A blinding beam of light is ejected from SCP-2399, which penetrates straight down and through SCP-001.
Oh shit, wait, this is a weapon that the Foundation is using right now?
For a moment, everything is still. There is complete silence. Then, as if SCP-001 is trying to reach up and grab the vessel above it, a mechanical bulge reaches out. Before SCP-001 can grab the vessel above, there is another bright flash of light. SCP-2399 blinks out of existence. The sound of grinding gears can be heard coming from within SCP-001. It begins to shed its outer layers of metal. Then the entire structure that was SCP-001 collapses into the water and onto the beach.
I am so confused. What the hell just happened? Can someone explain to me what happened? Did it get absorbed? So the SCP Foundation takes this satellite missile shit and uses it to attack this thing, and then it just vanishes?
Giant cogs fall from the sky. Parts of vehicles embed themselves in the sand. As the Foundation and AOI agents approach the piles of scrap metal and mechanical components, they see that some of them are still moving. It is as if an invisible power source is still pulsating through some of the machinery. The agents of the Foundation celebrate the destruction of the giant mechanical beast,
right?
but little do they know this was only a piece of the entity worshipped as the Broken God. The Foundation agents collect—
Okay, easy. Problem solved. The end. They actually did it. They just happened to have another SCP that could shoot a cannon strong enough to annihilate it. All right, Dubsky.
Collect as many of the still moving parts as they can. They find spinning gears, twitching pulleys, and firing pistons.
Obviously, it's not over. They're still alive.
As the parts are separated from one another and carried away from the main wreckage of SCP-001, they slowly stop moving and become inactive. Some of the artifacts recovered were identified as being connected to the Church of the Broken God. These artifacts are found closer to the middle of what was once a mountain-sized SCP-001. Hundreds of anomalous artifacts are collected and transported to SCP Foundation sites.
Interesting. And obviously they keep them divided so they're no threat. Oh well, neutralized. Let's go.
Collecting the broken parts of SCP-001 is relatively safe. However, some agents get too close to the larger moving parts, getting caught in them and losing a body part or two. But most
a body part or two, but that's no biggie.
Agents proceed with caution and survive the collection ordeal with their arms and legs still attached to their bodies. Dive teams are sent into the water to recover parts that have sunk to the bottom of the sea.
Right? Wait, so hold on. If one little part survives, can it keep eating and absorbing and growing? Like, is there no way to destroy it unless you destroy all of it? Like, are they just gonna need to deal with this again?
One of the divers is a local from the area. He is hired to bring up the heart of the machine. Since he is an experienced diver used to freediving to great depths to collect oysters from the bottom of the bay, the diver enters the water and swims down into the murky depths.
Oh wait, so that actual box that the Church of the Broken God was worshipping, that is the heart of this machine.
He secures straps around the heart of SCP-001 and pulls hard on the rope, as an indication to the surface that it is ready to be hauled up. The salvage team on the surface begins to pull. There is a second slight tug on the rope, then it goes slack. The team continues to pull. When they get the heart to the surface, they are horrified at what else comes up with it.
Oh my god, what?
Tangled in the ropes is the lifeless body of the diver. His head is smashed between two moving pieces.
Oh fuck. Oh shit, bro's part of the machine now.
Of the heart. It looks as if he shoved his head between the slabs of metal himself. The salvage team untangles the body.
Did they just dump him in the sea?
Rolls it off the deck.
Yes, they did.
And back into the ocean. The mechanical box, which was the heart of SCP-001, is offloaded on the shore. But as the Foundation prepares to move it to a containment facility, the weather starts to deteriorate.
Dude, hold the fucking phone. So this machine, all right, so obviously it's terrifying. It Kirby rules. This thing just gets up and it just absorbs and absorbs and absorbs. And it'll get truly massive and truly insane. But also, it has strange mind controlling capabilities to the point that an entire cult was formulated around it. So that even if it is ever stopped, even if the heart is ever sealed, eventually it will convince somebody to free it. And also it can control the weather, because why not?
Hurricane force wind sweeps across the water and batter the coast. The heart is kept in a secured storage warehouse until it can be moved. The people living in the village nearby complain of hearing voices and rashes so itchy that they practically tear their skin off.
Bro, it's crazy. It's like this Eldritchian horror.
Once the storm passes, the Foundation agents load the heart onto a ship. It is to be transported to a Foundation site just across the border. The ocean seems calm and serene. The Foundation ship undocks and begins its journey up the coast. Not too long after beginning its journey, the ship slowly drifts off course. It is as if the crew has stopped manning their posts.
Oh my god, dude. Dude, okay, this is actually a life-altering, world-ending SCP. It's like, it's crazy to think about. When you see some of the other SCP-001s, they're so much bigger, you know? You got fucking interdimensional Satan, right? SCP, what's it called? The red guy. And you got the Black Moon. Like, actual world-ending threats. Massive, cataclysmic monsters. And here, you don't have any of that. You just have a box that whispers to you.
And the ship is being controlled by a mind of its own. The Foundation ship crashes and sinks somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, never to be found. And most importantly, the heart of SCP-001 doesn't make it to the Foundation site.
Oh shit. Infinite time to just... God damn.
Years later, a man is walking along the beach. He hears something. It sounds like someone pounding on a large drum to the rhythm of a heartbeat.
Lord.
The man walks towards the sound. Something is drawing him forward, closer and closer to the heartbeat. He walks and walks until the beating stops. He bends down and moves the sand aside. He spots the corner of a mechanical...
This is jerking off. Listen, I'm not like seeing things. Like, this Gingy guy is just jerking off.
Box sticking out of the white sand. The man digs deeper and pulls out the small box. Inside, he can see
Dude, it's always a ginger. It's always a ginger, bro.
gears whirling and pistons firing. He holds the box close to his own heart. It seems to speak to him. The man brings the box back to town. He starts to worship the box, and soon more and more people in the area join the new religion. They cast aside their own
And it becomes a new church of the broken god.
beliefs and focus on the powerful entity contained within the box. God is not dead. At least, not yet. But the prophecies
Oh my god, what is that phrase?
of the Church of the Broken God say that when the heart is found, the God will reassemble itself once again. Then the unbroken God will destroy all other false deities until only he remains.
Shit, dude, that is scary as fuck. Oh my god, that's horrifying. The cycle continues. It's true. It can't be true. It truly just can't be destroyed because it'll always just play on the faith of humans. As long as humans are there to be manipulated, humans can never truly destroy it. Bro, dude, that's crazy. And eventually it will succeed. Like, it is inevitable that it does succeed. Dude, that one's a spooky one. SCP-001 Ubu, the 7-Day Scream. I was heavily requested to watch this one specifically, and I have no idea what we're actually jumping into. But since it's an SCP-001, I know I'm gonna actually get traumatized at some point. I don't think any SCP-001 will trump the Black Moon, but then again, I said that about the Scarlet King too, and the Black Moon blew me away. All right, so let's see what this is all about. And no one stop spamming Ubu in chat. It's not the same as Ubu. We're not doing that. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. SCP lore deep dive. 10,000 likes for the next one.
Boom. On May 12, 2588, the town of Kangastak,
What the fuck? 2588? Nani? All right, so this is a future SCP shit.
Greenland, was destroyed by a
Kangask. Is that is not a real city, right? Oh my god! What the fuck? A real town in Greenland! It's a real thing! How is this even possible?
a devastating 4-kiloton explosion, accompanied by a massive electromagnetic pulse. The few survivors that made it through the incident alive described seeing a pale green light in the area at the time of the explosion. Shortly after, an OMK-A class scenario, or end-of-death scenario, began, in
I'm just supposed to know what that is?
which all multicellular life on Earth began to experience a regenerative effect regardless of injury or
Oh,
illness.
what the fuck? This is awesome. Wait, is this a positive SCP-001? No way. I thought all SCP-001s were proposals for, like, the end of the world. Okay.
In other words, nobody could die anymore. This resulted in intense worldwide panic in the face of the inexplicable occurrence. As the panic mounted,
Oh my god, we're so panicked. We can't die. Oh, Lord. Dude, for real though. Everyone suicidal in my chat right now truly understands.
the O5 Council of the SCP Foundation held an emergency meeting in order to address the possibilities at hand. Meanwhile, civilians began reporting sightings of a gigantic, pale, white humanoid monster rampaging through their cities and communities, wreaking havoc and violently attacking anyone and anything.
Okay, how is this all tied together? What is going on? Unlike the other ones, like the Black Moon or the Scarlet King, you know, those were 001s with like vast histories and futures. This just happens instantly. These obviously cannot be separate situations. There has to be something tying them together.
In its path. As the situation progressed and worsened, and the reality of the end-of-death scenario began to set in, the SCP Foundation made the difficult decision to lift its veil of secrecy and reveal itself to the world. O5-1 made a statement to the UN regarding the reality
Is this actually some sort of giga threat on a massive enough level that the actual O5 Council had to address the UN? Oh my god.
of the worldwide anomaly, advising citizens to remain calm and await further instructions. 5 days after the world learned the truth of the SCP Foundation, the pale monster arrived in St. John's, Newfoundland, where it was met by Mobile Task Force New 7 Hammerdown for what they hoped would be a quick fight and neutralization.
I mean, to be fair though, it's just Newfoundland. Like, it's not racism if you're against Newfies. They're the only place in the world where their time zone is a half hour off. is GMT minus 3.5 hours. It's the only place in the world that's a half an hour off time zone. Why is Newfoundland 30 minutes off? Because it's stupid.
Instead, 2 years of devastating, bloody combat ensued.
2 years? Okay, listen, at least it was in Newfoundland, right? Like, if there are any casualties, like, at least they're Newfies.
By July 4th, 2590, 90% of the task force personnel had been killed and regenerated an average of 5 times. At this point, MTF Nu 7 abandoned the city of St. John, citing anomalously poor working conditions. After being held in...
So, this monster somehow comes at the same time as immortality. So they send these immortal soldiers to fight the monster, and over the course of 5 years, they can't win. And they just keep dying again and again and again. Okay, what is this, Fortnite?
2 years, the monster was able to break through the defensive line and continue its rampage.
Crazy.
On October 10th, 2590, the SCP Foundation and the Global Occult Coalition came together in an act of unprecedented cooperation to found Project Beluga, dedicated to the goal of neutralizing the monster.
That is crazy. Why is neutralizing it even such a big deal? Everyone's immortal. Like, who cares?
Designated SCP-UBU and stopping its reign of terror.
Why is it called UBU? Why? Why?
But Project Beluga was unable to neutralize the entity before it reached Columbus, Ohio on...
Dude, it went from Kangaskhan Town in Greenland to freaking Newfoundland to Ohio. At least he's picking good locations to traumatize.
On December 29th, 2590, once it arrived in the city, SCP-UBU began dedicating its time to a gruesome personal project. First, it dug a 2-kilometer deep hole in the city's center. Next, it gathered a total of 2.9 million civilians, throwing them into the hole. After the hole was full,
what the frick? It makes a massive hole, it dumps 1 million people in there?
The entity leaped into the upper stratosphere, over and over again, stomping into the hole each time.
Why? I can't get that picture out of my head right now. What?
When the people inside were pulverized, the entity destroyed a large fountain, which it used as a cup and drank the resulting juices from the hole.
Dude just made a civilian's smoothie. Oh my freaking god, dude. Oh my lord. Nani? I was not ready for this. Wait, what happens? They're immortal though.
This entire process took roughly 1 year, and when it was finished, the entity appeared to grow bored with Columbus and moved to Lake Erie. Upon reaching Lake Erie, SCP-UBU trudged out into the water and began assaulting the cargo ship docked there.
Like, is this just showing you the consequences of immortality, just extreme boredom?
And lifting ships up and throwing them out of the water, some flying high enough to exit Earth's gravitational pull.
Oh my god, this thing is OP. Nani?
Altogether. 2 of the ships were later spotted on the surface of the moon. This chaos and destruction continued for years and years, until June 10th, 2670, when SCP-UBU was contained at SCP Foundation Site 59. However, this containment only lasted for 2 minutes, at which point the entity...
They contained him for 2 minutes! Wait, how is this guy so OP? What? Can't they just put him in the cage with the reptile, let them fight it out?
He escaped and made its way to New York City, where it was found howling and attempted to defile the Statue of Liberty.
What? Yeah, you... Nani? What did you mean by that?
Several countries used their nuclear arsenals to attack SCP-UBU over the course of its rampage, until the Schenectady Agreement was signed on February 10th, 2674.
Yo! What the hell? It's February 11th right now. That's crazy. Wait, 2674? That means it's been literally 100 years where this has just been rampaging, where everyone's been immortal?
Cementing an agreement between NATO powers, the Russian Federation, the People's Republic of China, and the Global Occult Coalition.
It's like all the bad guys in the same place. When Tom has to team up with Jerry to fight the fucking, I don't know what, bad guy at the end. They got China, the Satanists, Russia, and NATO. Sure.
All signatories agreed that due to the concerns around the environment, any additional nuclear strikes against the entity would be prohibited. After the signing was finished, SCP-UBU crashed the ceremony, grabbing several lengths of rebar and 15 foreign dignitaries, which it used to construct itself a bead necklace. The next notable incident...
A bead necklace? What does that even mean? That means it's intelligent, right? It's having fun, and it's actually intelligent about what it's doing. That is so much scarier somehow.
Occurred when SCP-UBU showed up at Site 19, interrupting a round of testing with SCP-AFF, a woman capable of turning matter
Oh wait, that wasn't its only property. Okay, continue.
into stone by speaking to it. SCP-UBU broke through the ceiling, crushing AFF beneath its weight. SCP-682, which was also present,
Hey, there we go. There we go. I literally called it.
approached the entity curiously, and SCP-UBU responded by angrily defecating and shouting at SCP-682 in gibberish.
But it just shits on the lizard and leaves. He just comes in here, he shits on a lizard, he walks away.
SCP-682 seemed to understand this vocalization and attacked SCP-UBU, demanding that it take back the insult. At this point, SCP-UBU slapped 682's cheek, causing 682 to let out a horrific scream.
What?
The slap left behind a glowing green mark,
What?
which spread over the entity of 682's body before breaking the bonds of its cells all at once, dissolving the reptile into a pool of toxic fluid.
He beat the reptile so easily? What? What is this guy?
SCP-UBU then spent 5 minutes bathing in this fluid while giggling. After finishing its bath, devouring the reconstituted SCP-AFF, and screaming into the microphone for 20 minutes, SCP-UBU broke into Armed Containment Area 179
Oh my lord, this thing is OPAF. Nani?
and swallowed SCP-2317
Okay, I don't know what that one is.
whole. On March 5th, 2686, SCP-UBU conducted an assault on Thaumiel-class SCP-2000, rendering it neutralized. Again, years of hell
Dude, this is actually insane. What does this UBU have to do with the immortality? That's my question. Is it just out here for fun? Goes after the United Nations when they're plotting against...
passed as Project Beluga struggled to come up with new methods that had not already been exhausted. Meanwhile, civilians did their best to find ways to
A bear trap, that'll stop him.
cope with the state of the world. On March 25th, 2750, former film star Nash DeGroot
2750, 200 years, they could not contain this shit.
published the Zonk Manifesto, a book based around a simple principle. Life on Earth was no longer worth living consciously, and the only way formed was to enter an eternal coma through the combination of chemicals and guided meditation.
That's actually insane, right? Imagine living in a world with this UBU out here destroying indestructible SCPs, killing people whenever it feels like it, and your life is meaningless, you can't die, and there's nothing you can actually contribute to the world because UBU would just destroy it. Its existence is causing your life itself to lose value. Just upload your consciousness to the Matrix, bro.
This kickstarted the social movement, the International Zonk. On June 24th, 2790, Project Beluga forces managed to drive SCP-UBU into the Bay of Bengal, where it remained for 3 years, causing very little trouble aside from underwater seismic events. Meanwhile, the International Zonk continued to grow, and one
Dude, so this is causing like political movements, activist movements, social movements, just by the fact that this thing exists.
of adherents known as Cuddletopia reached its goal of 5 million residents.
Bro,
On
that's
June
crazy.
10th, 2793, SCP-UBU
You said June 10th and chose June 27th, but okay.
flung SCP-3000 out of the ocean, leaving it
What?
beached on the soil of India. Several cities were destroyed in this process. The entity then spent a week pointing and laughing at the beached sea monster.
Oh my god, again! It's every single time! This guy, he's just laughing. He's doing it for the fun of it. I'm telling you, that's what makes it so scary.
Before grabbing it by the tip of its tail and beginning to drag it across Asia. SCP-UBU continued carving a path through Asia, the wriggling SCP-3000 in tow, until it reached the Bering Strait. Then it began to cross the strait into Alaska, returning to North American territory once
Brother.
more. But it didn't stop there.
Oh my
Instead,
God.
advancing toward South America until it and SCP-3000 arrived on the
It takes the Leviathan out of the fucking ocean and just drags it casually across the planet. He just casually beats up a sea god. This guy's just an average DC entity. Honestly.
coast of Brazil on August 29th, 2793. There, it dragged its unfortunate charge back into the ocean once more, disappearing from sight. On August 30th, 2793,
Okay, what the hell was that all about? What was that about? It's not the Leviathan, it's the big eel? Yeah, okay, whatever.
SCP-169, or the Leviathan, emerged from the depths of the ocean.
Oh my god, we just did Leviathan! Guys, we did this. I've done the Leviathan research.
There are some reports that SCP-3000 had been tied around its neck, but these have not been confirmed. The Leviathan and SCP-UBU then entered into a lengthy battle, which carried on for several hundred years.
Oh, fuck.
After so much time had passed that witnesses could scarcely remember a time when it wasn't happening, the fight between SCP-UBU
Wait, are these people all still immortal?
and SCP-169 came to a halt. Much as it had with SCP-682, SCP-UBU slapped SCP-169 across the face with such
turned it into goop.
force that its cell bonds dissolved and it melted.
Wait, such force? Meaning it's not like it's a power he has, it's just that strong that it just punched his cells into goop? Okay, that's fucking nuts. Wait, so this ends up killing the Leviathan in single combat after hundreds of years?
A puddle of fluid, which was lost beneath the ocean waves. SCP-169 was reclassified, neutralized.
That's insane. Oh my god, this thing is just casually walking around, changing the world.
11th 3020 marked the start of a 10-year period of
3020. This thing has been out there for 500 years. He's just taking out all the big SCPs, one after the other.
inactivity for SCP-UBU. Ordinarily, one would expect this to come with a sense of relief. However, even in spite of the global immortality, the collateral
Wait, so everyone still is immortal? So all the people that were around 500 years ago to witness SCP-UBU are still around. I wonder if that is his goal. It's just to flex on everyone?
damage from SCP-UBU.
I hope they explain, because I am, like, lost.
Centuries of carnage had rendered the surface of the Earth uninhabitable, with all land now underwater.
What?
The remains of human civilization persist on a single archipelago of floating cities constructed from ships and debris.
Oh my god. What?
While the international Zonk movement has persisted, gaining more and more
Zonk Scoob! Yeah, you don't want to live in a world like this, where countries are just getting submerged, one after the other, while this Ubu just casually walks around murdering all of the big sea monsters.
traction and popularity, as conscious life became less and less bearable. An enormous floating
I get it, honestly. Plug yourself into the Matrix.
Zonk pile, consisting of international Zonk followers using anomalous methods to achieve the perfect Zonk, began to form. Eventually, this
Perfect Zonk? What is even happening?
pile earned the nickname New Zonkland. By May 28, 3028,
Okay.
the archipelago was abandoned, and the 140 remaining conscious humans retreated to the SCP Foundation's SCPS Naismith.
There are only 130 freaking people left alive and conscious on the planet? I'd get it though, honestly. I'd fucking zonk.
There they lived in relative safety for several months, until SCP-UBU was spotted in the water off the port bow of the Naismith on January 14, 3030.
Oh, Lord.
It emitted several sounds that witnesses described as mocking, before swimming off towards New Zonkland. In response to this reappearance after 10 years of inactivity, the O5 Council called an emergency meeting. The transcript for this meeting reads as follows.
It's like, it's slowly but surely causing the Earth to be... It's not like, you know, honestly, a super threat that just comes and blows up the planet is somehow much less scary. It's literally less scary than this, which is just slowly but surely making the world less inhabitable, less of a place that you actually want. Slowly but surely, you don't want to live on this world, and they'd rather take the Zonk method and just plug themselves into the Matrix.
We haven't exhausted all of our anomalous options for neutralizing UBU. Where's the corn crake?
We've been over since Florence. Throwing the corn cake in this mess is only going to...
It just
Dude, what? You're giving this lady like an old German man accent.
anchored 57 clicks due southeast.
For why the hell did you tell him that?
Well, friends, it seems the Omega K has had us up and about so long that our personalities have run out of fuel we were given from birth. In all likelihood, we'd see better professionalism and teamwork in New Zonkland.
As a matter of fact, that's a good segue into what I was about to propose.
And frankly, I hope you find the nicest, cleanest spots in the mass grave.
Okay.
Where are you going?
That depends. Which way is southeast? At this point, 05-11 left the room, presumably to track down the corn crake, leaving the remains
What
of
is
the
this corn crake? Dude, at this point, you might as well try anything. It's not like humanity has much of a future if you just leave it going the way it is.
05 Council there, and leaving the remains of Project Beluga with the question of how to handle SCP-UBU. According to its official SCP Foundation file, SCP-UBU is an extremely violent and hostile humanoid entity of unknown origin, which appeared in Greenland on May 12, 2588.
It's so messed up. Are we gonna get an origin for this? There has to be some sort of origin.
It displays anomalous physical strength and speed, as well as reality-bending capabilities and the emission of regenerative lambda waves linked to the ongoing end-of-death scenario. The appearance of SCP-UBU and the start of the end-of-death scenario coincided with several additional phenomena.
Nani?
There was a mass loss of function for all the
Nani?
objects operated by the Three Moons Initiative. The Three Moons Initiative was an extra-dimensional human organization based in SCP-2922-C.
They are really going dark and deep into the lore for this one.
Life known as Corbenic. This organization was founded 14,000 years ago with
Ah!
the purpose of establishing a human colony in the afterlife.
Of course the SCP Foundation has something like that. Sure.
It has long maintained a peace treaty with the SCP Foundation. SCP-2922, a method of communication that allowed a human mind to make calls to any pre-established phone number, ceased all functions. Next, the extra-dimensional space known as the Wanderer's Library, a magical archive of all—
They are literally going through every SCP interdimensional shit to try to figure out a way to take this guy down. That's insanity.
the knowledge from all known worlds, and every book that has ever been written, will be written, and several that have not and will not exist, was severed from Earth. When the SCP
How?
Foundation pressed the Serpent's hand for answers, a representative answered that irreconcilable security concerns regarding Earth had come up, and forced them to make this decision.
That's actually crazy. Even the interdimensional people don't want to get involved and leave a connection open. That's how much of a threat this UBU is.
A representative of Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited somehow gained access to the personal contact information of the O5 Council's members, and used this information to reach out to them with a business offer. The company is ordinarily on unfriendly terms with the SCP Foundation, due to their conflicting interests, namely
Okay, what? This is a cartel?
Marshall, Carter, and Dark's interests in acquiring and selling anomalous items,
That makes sense. It's a black market for anomalies.
entities, and experiences to the highest bidder. However, in this case, the company's representative approached O5 Council members with a mixture of politeness and desperation, begging the SCP Foundation to purchase large amounts of the company's stock. The forest known as SCP-4000 lost all of its anomalous properties all at once.
4,000? Which one's that?
Investigation revealed only a small parchment note in the area's entryway, which read, "Good luck."
Frick, dude, the SCPs are jumping ship. That's wild. What the hell? What is this thing made of? I have to know!
One of the most perplexing
Dude, is this just gonna be like some sort of end of the world scenario and it just ends with everything gone and done and you're just left with all the mysteries of how it ended there?
and disconcerting phenomenon that occurred concurrently with SCP-UBU's first appearance was what happened to SCP-3008, the
Wait,
Infinite
the IKEA?
Though this sort of thing should have been impossible, the Infinite IKEA was anomalously purchased by some unknown entity. The IKEA branding was stricken from the building, and it was converted into an emergency shelter.
Yo! Everyone's living in the infinite IKEA! Thank you for the gifted sub, Bull Moose. Oh my god!
All of these occurrences combined to serve as a warning. Something big is coming. And indeed, it was. SCP-UBU. It appears to be impervious to most forms of damage, including blunt force trauma, heavy caliber machine gun fire, temperatures up to 1600 degrees Kelvin, artillery fire, and direct energy discharge from other anomalies.
That's
It
crazy.
did express some discomfort when exposed to severe simultaneous direct nuclear strikes, but it was
Well, in that case, it's toast.
not affected beyond that.
Dude, something big is coming. My dick!
Recorded instance of lasting damage to SCP-UBU was on August 14th, 2784,
Okay.
in which the entity bit its left thumb, seemingly for no reason other than curiosity.
The only time it felt pain was when it bit itself. Oh my god.
After biting its thumb, the entity screamed for 7 days straight,
That's why it's called the 7-Day Scream.
then entered into a month-long crying fit. 30 years and 14 days later, the thumb had completely healed. SCP-UBU stands at a height of 4.3 meters.
That's big boy. It's a big boy.
One exact measure of its weight is unknown. Attempts at measurement during its brief time in containment showed that its weight is at least 15,399 kilograms. Its exact anatomical composition is unknown, but a superficial examination of the entity indicates that its body shape resembles that of a large androgynous humanoid, covered in hairless white skin similar in texture to that of a dolphin or small whale.
Okay.
The entity has
Small whale.
no eyes, ears, or nostrils, but seems to still possess the ability to see, hear, and smell. Its only visible sensory organ, aside from its skin, is its 0.5 meter wide mouth, humanoid in nature, with a prehensile tongue of unknown length. On its lower body, it has no apparent features, aside from a
It just shows a fart animation.
cloaca that it uses to dispose of waste.
Ooh, a cloaca, sexy.
SCP-UBU is prone to vocalizations, mainly screaming, laughing, and babbling, but it does not appear to understand speech in any known language, nor does it seem to be attempting to communicate with anyone it encounters. Its primary interest appears to be destruction and causing as much of it as possible.
But what's funny is it's destruction, but it's like on a weird logical almost level. Like it destroys, but it loves to destroy. Like it destroys, but it also wants to cause trauma. It wants people to suffer. It wants to make an impact.
It will attack anything that it can get its hands on, but seems to show a particular preference for attacking and consuming human beings in large populous areas, such as cities. Its demeanor is both sadistic and childlike, and it has been seen playing with its victims for hours before moving on to a new target.
Brother.
Due to its regenerative effect present in SCP-UBU's vicinity, it is incapable of causing permanent damage to any living thing, and seems to have no greater motivation beyond causing fear and pain.
That's what it is. It's about causing fear. But what is it though?
SCP-UBU
Oh my
is
God.
classified as Tiamat, meaning that it cannot be reasonably contained at this time, with the resources that the Foundation has. Therefore, the focus has shifted from containment to neutralization, which is ongoing via Project Beluga. Any and all non-critical resources will be funneled into Project Beluga, as neutralization of SCP-UBU is
It's
a
a top priority. Bro, this is insane. There's literally nothing to do. It's like it's a toddler that's just incredibly overpowered. That's coincidentally the same letters as, you know, Majin Buu. There has to be something more to this. Where'd it come from? Just suddenly in 27, whatever the fuck, it just shows up?
Additional information on neutralization efforts is restricted, and may only be accessed by members of Project Beluga. But in the end, it won't be Project Beluga that defeats this monstrous creature. It'll be the staunch efforts of one extremely dedicated researcher.
Don't you dare give us a cliffhanger. Don't you dare give us a cliffhanger.
Now check out the O5 Council Must Die as
No! No! Oh my god, I cannot believe that just happened. I am so mad. I am so mad. Ladies and gentlemen, as promised, I am here today with SCP-001, the Scarlet King. This was probably one of the top 3 most suggested and requested SCPs you wanted me to do a little bit of a deep dive into. As I have learnt over the last couple of time, SCP-001s are proposals. None of them are, we are uncertain as to which is the real one, because just knowing which is the real one can actually wipe out humanity or something. So that's wild. However, there are other SCPs like 999, which I did do research in already, Tickle Monster, and that one is one of the children of the Scarlet King. So we are about to look into potentially one of the coolest SCPs of all time, and I'm thinking of doing like a video power scaling the Scarlet King to see how it pairs up against like Olympian gods. Like I was thinking of doing Scarlet King versus Hades in a death battle style where I power scale both of them. Let me know if you are interested in me actually doing that. I am very, very eager to do that. 10,000 likes, and I will. Also 10,000 likes, and I'll do more SCPs. Let me know more SCPs you want me to do in the description. Subscribe. All right, let's see what the Scarlet King is all about.
The SCP Foundation is no stranger to pure evil.
Oh.
Whether it's a reptile that wants to end all life,
Listen, it's just a reptile, dude. I did already do a 682 research video. I looked into SCP that can't be destroyed reptile. I get it, it can't be destroyed, but there's no way it's strong enough to end all life. Like, let's be real, bro. It's just a lizard, like, come on. Maybe Goku couldn't kill it, but it couldn't kill Goku.
a sadistic old man with his own torture dimension, or
What the shit? I don't know that one.
the personification of death itself lurking beyond a limestone
Oh my god, is that the Into the Nightosphere?
cavern.
That's SCP-106? All right, I have to do 106 later.
What if there was something even worse out there? The embodiment of chaos and cruelty.
Lord Nux Taku, the man who predicted Twitch is hentai.
Existing across multiple realities and dimensions. And what if it was coming for us?
Coming? Bro, just like everyone that's been on Twitch lately watching the new Twitch meta. Dude, I'm still so psyched that my Twitch is hentai song was an actual prophecy.
This is the Scarlet King.
God damn, he looks cool. All right, Scarlet King. Let's see what we got here.
believed by many to be the ultimate evil behind much of the trouble the Foundation has faced, and some even speculate that fighting him was the reason the Foundation was created in the first place.
Whoa! That's insane. The whole Foundation was made to take down the Scarlet King?
But what exactly is the Scarlet King?
Yeah.
He's known by many names, almost always including some allusion to the color red, and then a reference.
Well, yes, Scarlet King, alright. Harak, the Red Shah, the Crimson Card, PTE 616, Mendez es Makina, the La La Raja. That's a sick one.
To royalty or power. Harak, Kaharak, the Red Shah, the Crimson Khan, PTE 616 Mendez Ex Machina, the Laha Raja, and, of course, SCP-001, to name a few. And like many of the Foundation's mysterious enemies, stories about his true nature and origins abound and are often contradictory. According to the—
That's insane. They made the entire Foundation to take down the Scarlet King, and they still know so little about him. Is he really that dangerous? Like, dude, you think this guy could actually go up against mythological Hades?
The official SCP's
He's Hyper Satan? What does that even mean, Chet?
001 files of To's proposal. Symbology of the Scarlet King has existed in multiple cultures throughout history, with the king often depicted the same way, as a huge red demonic figure, often wearing a gold crown or other headdress.
Bro, it's just Hyperspace Satan. You were so right. It's just Hyperspace Satan.
Indicating royalty. He shows up looking similarly within different cultures'
Oh my god, is that the Greeks? I know those guys.
mythologies. Despite existing at different points in history, or them not having the means
Is
to—
that the Vikings? Bro, is he just like the ultimate figurehead behind the evil in every religion throughout history? Holy shit, that is so cool. Wait, so this guy, this Scarlet King, dude, they really developed a super monster. Like some guy really out there cooked. They cooked up one of the coolest main villains of all time.
communicate with one another. A number of entities that the
Oh my
SCP
glob!
Foundation is familiar with are believed to be somehow connected to the Scarlet King, including SCP-2317, a wooden door leading to the realm of a being known as the Devourer, who is expected to escape and cause an
Oh, that's an ugly guy.
apocalyptic event in the next 30 years.
Chibidoki would smash though, so that's fine.
But really, there's no way of knowing just how many SCPs are directly connected to the Scarlet King.
Apparently, from what I've learned, SCP-682, the Can't Be Destroyed Reptile, as well as SCP-999, the Tickle Monster, are both children of SCP-001, the Scarlet King. Like, this is one prolific fellow. Holy crap.
The Foundation's official file on the Scarlet King once designated his containment class as Keter, but that has since been downgraded to Safe.
What? If this man's really Hyperspace Satan, why would they— Okay.
According to the file, any attempt to change this designation is likely to lead to horrifying results.
Dude, honestly, I just started shaking a little bit. You know the only thing scarier, or how you upgrade a level 10 threat? Like an S tier threat? The only thing above that is something that cannot even be defined as a threat at all. Because even defining it as a threat will destroy you. Oh my god, bro. That is one of the biggest flexes in anime. They had to define it as safe, because even defining it as dangerous is dangerous. Okay, that's crazy.
It is widely known that the Scarlet King still has considerable influence over a number of groups,
Right, that's the Gate Guardian. I never actually did a deep dive on this guy either, but he was another highly suggested one.
individuals, and anomalies in our universe. And if ever he made his way into our universe, it would likely lead to the irreversible damage of reality itself.
Oh boy. Yep, when I do Scarlet King versus Hades, it is not going to go well at all.
So then why Safe? And why are the O5 Council so adamant that it remain that way? Getting to the bottom of this mystery is exactly why we're here today. But to fully grasp the true nature of the Scarlet King, we must first understand the man whose life and fate have always been tied to it.
Okay.
Dr. Robert Montauk.
Alright, Alright, okay, alright. That's not so bad. Alright. Extra-dimensional Hyper Satan he seems pretty dangerous, but who knows? Maybe he's friendly.
If that name feels oddly familiar to you, it's because of its association with one of the Scarlet King's most recent attempts to enter our reality.
What?
SCP-001. This SCP
I don't know 231.
often referred to as the Brides of the Scarlet King.
Oh, I do know 231. Yeah, and each one of them died in childbirth to another creature.
Was formed of 7 women.
That is why level 5 Gyat Riz Skibbity Toilet is stronger than level 4 Gyat Riz Skibbity Toilet. This is why I don't read chat, okay?
7, by the way, being an extremely significant number for the king. All
Dude, he just wants to flex on Satan. Satan's like 666. He's like, ha! I'll do you one better. 7. Oh, dabs.
kidnapped by the most recent in a long line of the king's devoted cults known as the Children of the Scarlet King.
Damn.
Each of these 7 unfortunate women were impregnated with anomalous horrors, such as the infamous SCP-682.
Oh my god, so dude, this man's semen became a creature that can't be destroyed. Holy shit, what does that say about the guy?
Every time one of these horrors were birthed, a catastrophe occurred and the mother died. At the time, Dr. Montauk was a prominent researcher studying this anomaly, and as 6 catastrophes had already occurred, pressure was mounting to figure out a way to prevent the final birth. But as he was working on the issue, Dr. Montauk was struck with a personal tragedy, the mysterious disappearance of his 14-year-old brother Jacob.
Dude, this guy, this interdimensional Satan is so scary that so far we've just been talking about the horrors of this guy without actually him stepping foot in the actual corporeal world. He managed to kidnap the guy's son to bamboozle him and waste his time so that the 7th mother can give birth. That's wild how much influence he actually has despite not even being present. Brother, whatever, okay? Who cares? Whatever.
Fear and anger, Montauk believed that this must have something to do with the Scarlet King and his disciples. Wanting revenge, Montauk proposed an idea so horrifying that the details were never made public.
Bro, was it to kill the pregnant lady?
Known as 110 Montauk, to be performed on the final bride at regular intervals.
Calling them brides is so fucked up.
However, this wasn't the end of Dr. Montauk's fraught relationship with the Scarlet King. It was just the beginning. To give you some perspective on just how dangerous the Scarlet King is,
yeah, please do.
The SCP Foundation and the Global Occult Coalition decided to put aside their differences.
Finally, the scientists and Satanists have united as one. At long last, humanity is reaching peak creativity. Let's go, baby.
Form a joint effort to stamp out the children of the Scarlet King. They were successful in this mission, and even made
and these soldiers with the machine gun, they have this one fucker with a robe. Oh my god, bro. Oh lord, this is somehow wild. They thought that the Satanists would help.
Managed to capture the children's leader, a mysterious man named Depeche Spivak. Dr. Montauk, who became the lead researcher on 231 and 2317, was naturally the first choice for interviewing Depeche about the true nature of the children and of the Scarlet King. Dr. Montauk could never be the impartial interviewer that the SCP Foundation wanted, though. The suspicion that the Scarlet King or the children had something to do with the loss of his younger brother still lingered just beneath the surface.
Nutty. Man is so fucked up. Dude, this Scarlet King just gets away with everything, doesn't he? That's nutty.
Like a lot of cult leaders, Depeche was extremely cryptic in his answers to Dr. Montauk's questioning.
Yeah, this is why you can never interrogate Satanists, bro. None of them ever tell you straight, you know what I'm saying?
He heard of the doctor from the reputation of the horrifying Montauk procedure, and was surprised to see him so calm and courteous in person. A few key facts about the king and his cult were revealed in the first few rounds of questioning.
Okay.
The children had once worked with the Serpent's Hand before being excommunicated.
The Serpent's Hand? Bro, this man has... Why does he have so many names and titles? Bro, just stick with one. we get it, dog.
For their allegiance to the king, and they had stolen sacred texts from the mystical Wanderer's Library to assist in their summoning rituals. Depeche also revealed that the Scarlet King is bound by 3 laws: the law of blood, the law of concrete, and the law of howling.
Man needs laws to understand him. Are these like the physics in his dimension? Oh my god, that's insane. Whenever I see like the law of, I think of, the laws of physics. Is this just how the world even works under his worldview? Is he so powerful? He's not even contained by the physics that we understand? I don't know, we'll see. That's crazy.
Dr. Montauk, confused and frustrated by Depesh's secrecy, had to learn more. He found an old memoir from a former member of the Children of the Scarlet King, Jack Hirsch, who had the ability to invade the minds of people from the past and experience what they experienced. He recounted a battle between the Scarlet King and his followers, and a group of time-traveling Turkmen warriors from SCP-3838.
What? Dude, you have an army of monsters at your disposal, and you took Turkish time travelers? I feel like there could have been a better way to do this somehow. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but what? Dude made the Suicide Squad and was like, yep, I need Turkish warriors ASAP.
Hurst saw both sides of the battle. From the perspective of the Children of the Scarlet King, their lord ruled over them from an immense fortress embedded in a volcano. From the perspective of the Turkmen, the children were starved and beaten peasants, commanded by the king's voice in the roaring howl of the wind.
I am so confused. I don't even know why this is, like, even relevant. Is this just like a random history lesson? How all these time-traveling Turkish people were just murdered by Sauron?
Montauk also found extensive records of summoning rituals performed by various Scarlet King-aligned cults. Interestingly, some of them incorporated the use of carved SCP Foundation symbols.
The SCP Foundation symbols are part of the Satan summoning symbols? That's somehow really scary. It's almost like the literal creation of the SCP Foundation is just part of this guy's plan to end up invading. It's almost like whatever you do, and no matter how you try to get away, you are just heading closer and closer to your own fate and your own demise. It's like this weird metaphysical impending doom. This weird feeling of just complete impotence against his wrath and majesty.
What could this mean? Montauk returned again to Depeche, who finally gave him the truth about the law of blood. This
I hope they
is
tortured the fuck out of this guy. If there's a Scarlet King out there ready to royally fuck with reality, bro, you gotta use some CIA waterboarding methods to get the information out of this guy.
Law of the Scarlet King. It's defined by poverty, violence, starvation, hate, and most of all, fear. Like the serfs in the Middle Ages, persecuted by and subjected to violence from the nobles. To the Children of the Scarlet King, this sense of holy pain and awe is the only way to live. The alternative...
Torture is illegal, Nux? Dude, these guys, the SCP Foundation sends in D-class SCP guys to literally die to test them on monsters. Don't tell me about laws, okay? This dude has the laws of blood, okay? Man just stood up there and said, it's Mogan time, and proceeded to moog all over the place.
Empty safety and false comfort. Buildings, easy to access food, healthcare, knowledge, technology. This is everything that the Scarlet King despises. But the mystery only deepened as Montauk found files from a former Foundation operative by the name of Agent de Beauvoir. Montauk learned that the Scarlet King didn't seem to appear until after the Foundation was created. And
wait a second, oh my god. The SCP Foundation is gathering all of these creatures, all of these anomalies throughout all of time, all of these creatures that spawn from the chaos of the Scarlet King. Somehow, that is beckoning him closer. What if the Scarlet King is the embodiment of chaos? So all of these anomalies in the SCP Foundation that are just constantly just beings and devices and creatures that somehow don't obey the laws of physics. They are chaos in this world. In a world, a corporeal world that we live in. Order is defined by physics. It's defined by rules and laws. All these anomalies are not defined by physics and therefore are an embodiment of chaos. What if bringing all of them together under the reign of the SCP Foundation? What if that is what's building the Scarlet King's entrance into the world? That is such a cool villain concept. I'm so blown away right now.
And in fact, it seemed that the greater interest the Foundation took in the Scarlet King, the more powerful he became. How could this be?
Interesting. So he grows based on fear, right? As long as no one knows he exists, he's not really a threat. Once people find out about him and start to fear him more and more, it makes him more and more dangerous. So cool.
Things were also getting stranger on a personal level for Dr. Montauk. Depeche repeatedly pressed him about his brother's disappearance and the
Oh my god, dude, he's just so annoying.
Montauk procedure during the interviews. Little by little, it was beginning to take its toll.
Oh
The
my-
questions still plagued him. What was the law of howling? Who or what really is the Scarlet King? How did he come to be?
And I love how every question that he has is just making the Scarlet King stronger.
Montauk's search was causing him to act more like the children of the Scarlet King, ranting about
Yo! The search drives him to insanity, which will ultimately make him a subject of chaos. What a cool villain! Oh my god, dude!
the horrors of the modern world, how all of us are living a lie, how the only honest way to live is suffering under the dominion of the Scarlet King. This philosophy is summed up in the words of one cultist named Ariadne Cartwright, who said, "We must learn what it is to die, to be enslaved, truly, brutally enslaved,
Okay.
with no compassion or compunction from our masters. We must learn what it is to be taken towards a single purpose, to know and truly understand."
This is some guy on Twitter writing a twit longer. Man just got offended by capitalism and he decided he's gonna take down the patriarchy and he just starts going. He just starts going, bro.
And our lack of agency. We must be beholden to the words of gods and darkness, the tempest-tossed refuse of a race of fools. We must kill modernity, postmodernity, with all its analysis and sneering observation. There is only one rule, the rule of chaos for humanity. For life!
Oh my god, bro thinks he's an anime villain. He's microdosing on Kaiba monologues right now.
Or the Scarlet King. Basically,
Yes.
anytime humanity
Yes, dude, I love those guys. I love those guys. Every time I hear one of those massive anime speeches, it just makes me so happy.
tries to exert control over the world, the Scarlet King gets stronger. Every time they try to understand or organize or categorize their world, the Scarlet King gets stronger.
Because chaos is born from order. That's insane. What a cool way to look at it.
As colonial and imperial powers conquered and invaded lands like India, Africa, and South America, and subjugated their beliefs under Western ideas, the Scarlet King grew stronger. Montauk was beginning to truly understand the power of his enemy here. And even worse, he was starting to understand his part in it. Montauk,
That's
slowly
insane.
being driven mad by the knowledge he was gaining, realized that the Scarlet King's greatest enemy, the SCP Foundation,
Was also his greatest source of power.
was also its greatest asset.
Alright, I was close. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I was cooler.
Every time they tried to understand the monster, to give him some kind of comprehensible form, they only made him more powerful. Just in time with Montauk's new revelation, a red crack appeared in the wall of Depeche Spivak's containment cell,
Oh my god.
a portal to the realm of the Scarlet King. Foundation staff found they were unable to enter the cell, and Depeche demanded a final interview with Montauk. With no other options, the Foundation relented.
Man, might as well go in there. Listen, bro. If the gate to hyper hell opens up right in here, none of us are gonna turn out great. So, might as well send him in, because, like, what are you gonna do? Run away from interdimensional Satan?
In their very last conversation, Depeche congratulated Montauk for finally understanding what he was dealing with. The Scarlet King, Depeche told him, is an idea, a concept. He is a being given power through the conflict between the old and the new. This is the law of the howling.
What the frick?
The Scarlet King's endless rage at the direction the world and humanity has taken. The king, according to Depeche, hated the Foundation's belief that science and rationality was the true path to progress. The king saw
Did he
that
really hate it? I mean, according to this cultist guy, he obviously didn't hate it because his whole gimmick is the fact that the more order there is, the more chaos it could breed. That's crazy. Scarlet King saw Twitter and gained all of its power. Scarlet King opened up Twitch one day to see the new Twitch artistic nudity meta and was just like, damn, bro.
this is little more than petty arrogance. The reason Montauk's procedure on the final bride of the Scarlet King was so effective was because it wasn't born out of science. It was born out of hate, pain, the desire for revenge, and in this—
Bro, man, out here with the law of howling, the law of blood, the law of concrete. Never heard of the law of consent. SMH, my head. Cringe, am I right, game?
Scarlet King's realm, that would be all there is. Unless our world, and especially the Foundation, changed its course, the Scarlet King's rise to absolute power would
inevitable.
be inevitable.
Yo, he said the thing. Pre-watch, Nux, I can't believe you pre-watch.
Montauk, his mind practically gone, asked one last question. Did the children or the Scarlet King take his brother, Jacob? When Depeche told him the answer, no. And in response, Montauk shot him dead.
Why would you do? What about the law of getting some bitches? So true, Chet.
Finally bringing an end to the children of the Scarlet King. In light of his new revelations, Montauk begged the O5 Council to change their ways in order to avoid letting the Scarlet King break into our reality. They refused, saying Montauk's ideas were too radical. But they knew they couldn't just ignore the threat posed by the Scarlet King. They would have to take some steps. And so the O5 Council of the SCP Foundation,
Insane.
the most powerful and secretive group in the entire world, in order to prevent the most dangerous threat that humanity has ever known from breaking into our reality.
I don't even know if this is the greatest threat humanity's known. I think this is literally safe. I think this is just a very Nux philosophy that you've probably heard me say in the past. When there's something that is so dangerous and so horrifying that there's nothing you can actually do about it, why worry about it? It's like, it's a very strong philosophy I've had for a while. Like, a lot of really sucky shits happened to me in the past, and I'm just like, bro, why worry about it? It happened. It's irrelevant. Can you do something about it? No? Then move on with life. If he invades the world is dead, and there's no way to stop him from invading the world. At this point, there's no point even thinking about him existing. Being worried about an inevitable fate is not going to change the inevitable fate.
Changed the classification of the Scarlet King from Keter to safe, and made its description on the official Foundation files deliberately vague.
Because what's the point? The more you fear him, the stronger he gets. Label him safe and live your life, because it's not like there's anything you could do.
O5 Council thinks this will be enough to stop the Scarlet King's power from continuing to grow. But Montauk knew it wasn't enough. He had seen the truth, and he couldn't unsee it. While the Foundation was going on as normal, Montauk grew to despise them. He knew the Scarlet King was coming. He knew that he couldn't be stopped, and that
just like everyone that was on Twitch today. That joke's gonna age really well when this goes up on Nuxanor.
our whole reality was little more than sitting ducks. Dr. Robert Montauk is no longer a researcher for the SCP Foundation. No, Dr. Robert Montauk chose a different path.
Oh my god.
He's now a
dude literally went to the dark side of the Force because the dude was so badass. That's awesome. What?
child of the Scarlet King, a devotee of madness, hate, and chaos. You can't beat the Scarlet King after all. And as the old adage goes, if you can't beat him, join him.
What a cool fucking story. Holy shit. He's right though. Like, what are you gonna do? You beat him? You won't. You literally won't. Just lick some assholes and get yourself a comfy cushion under his rule.
Now go watch SCP-682, Ways the Foundation tried to kill the hard-to-destroy reptile.
True. In fact, you should do that. On my channel, I also have a deep dive into 682. You should definitely check that one out. In fact, you just go to the whole SCP Nuxploration playlist, because Lord Nuxalore will keep grinding and never stop that grind, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, that was a really good one. I am so hyped. Scarlet King probably is this is for sure my favorite one so far. Like, I liked a lot of them. I really liked the Plague Doctor. I thought was really, really cool. But this is easily the peak. Ladies and gentlemen, people have been really bugging me to cover SCP-001, the Black Moon. Apparently, the Black Moon over here, it covers all sorts of things, like the Foundation, how it started. It's an SCP-001, which is always cool. I'm excited. What can I say? This is a good one. I keep getting told that this is like a real banger. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see if it's truly worth the hype.
Does the Black Moon howl? No,
What?
not yet.
What?
See the boy. He was born in a time before names. There weren't enough humans around to need them back then.
Wait, huh? The Black Moon has such a rich history.
He was one of a handful occupying a coastal village, using a tongue long since dead. They eked out a simple life, hunting, gathering, fishing. The only thing on most of their minds was surviving to see the next sunrise. Yes, a simple life, free of complications.
Okay, I feel like there are about to be a lot of complications. What the fuck?
Until the Hermit appeared.
The Hermit! Okay, dude. Okay, dude, what is this? Is this some history of humanity garbage? There's no way the Black Moon SCP is that deep that we have to go this far back in time. This feels like those essay channels that are like, yes, before covering this PewDiePie controversy, first, let me tell you about Adolf Hitler, commander of the Third Reich.
The boy would remember this man for eternity. Haggard and thin, skin weathered by time and pain. A man that, emaciated, walking with a long, gnarled cane that honestly looked healthier than he did, shouldn't be alive. Even the boy, who had scarcely seen beyond the bounds of his village, knew that the Hermit was unnatural, an aberration.
Are all the historical anomalies, like, you know, all the magical type things that have happened throughout history that we don't have an explanation for, are they just anomalies in the SCP universe?
An anomaly. He walked into the center of the village, sat down on a large stone, and waited. Nobody dared ask his business, nor what the Hermit waited for.
I have come long and far to touch grass, child.
Then, a few days later, the Black Moon howled.
Okay, what the fuck is going on? My butt cheeks are clenched right now.
The boy saw the village's youngest hunter freeze one evening while out on a walk. Not simply stand still, but freeze. Then, for an instant, he became solid black, a coal stack.
Whoa! Whoa! Police, don't shoot. This man is black.
And as soon as he'd changed, he was gone, obliterated.
Wait.
Not a trace of him remained. Such is the power of the Black Moon. It can make any conscious being disappear in an instant, turn black, then wiped from our plane of existence, never to be seen again.
Oh my god, and it just does this randomly? Is it itself, is it alive? Like, is it conscious? Does it know what it's doing? Or is it just, oh, every once in a while, you get Majora masked. Yo, did you just get Majora's masked? Oh, sorry about that, homie. It just, you know, it's a thing.
Its choice of victims seemed, at each instance, to be utterly random, but it would come for all who lived eventually.
Wait, it's just for all who lived? Is this just a demise that eventually befits everyone? Are you that's scary as hell. Wait, so what changed between then and now? It just erased? Everyone knows that at some point they're gonna be erased from existence. They're just gonna get Thanos.
This is known to some as the howling of the Black Moon. Later that same night, the boy found himself talking to the Hermit, who asked with small, frantic eyes.
I love how they said just before this is like, oh yes, this is before language existed. Anyway, the boy was talking to the Hermit.
He had seen. When the boy told him, he let out a deep, rattling sigh. The boy, curious, asked him if he knew about the nightmare he'd just witnessed. The Hermit looked up. He'd been the first one in the Hermit's millennia of pursuit that had ever asked. In that moment, he knew that he had found his successor in the hunt for the death of ages.
Huh?
The Hermit told the boy it went by many names. The Great Finale, the Pale King, but most common of all was the Black Moon.
Why would it be called the Pale King? It sounds like it's coming from a racist place. I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
The entity existed beyond the veil of our reality, a creature of pure energy, though nobody could really be sure of its true nature.
Wait, so this is like the Scarlet King with extra steps. I feel like there has to be some sort of theory that the Scarlet King is just the Black Moon.
The Hermit had been tracking it, learning about it, and trying to destroy it for thousands of years.
What?
And yet it only took him 4 pathetic minutes to tell the boy everything he knew. The boy—
Dude, imagine living a life thousands of years long, chasing some sort of Eldritchian entity. You only have 4, you could tell over your whole life story in 4 minutes. There's some sort of entity that's killing people. You learned nothing. Man learned nothing. Just give up.
knowing still that something about the hermit was unnatural, asked how he came to be in this position.
The Black Moon never claimed him somehow?
Hermit told the boy he was the counterbalance, a kind of chosen one, destined to face and perhaps even defeat the Black Moon someday. The counterbalance receives a number of truly extraordinary gifts for inheriting the responsibility: eternal life, eternal youth, near
eternal youth,
physical immortality. But they will be haunted by their purpose, doomed to watch everyone they love die around them.
No, don't tell me this guy, this hermit dude, ends up becoming a member of the Foundation trying to track down this moon. Wait a second, what if this is the reason why the Foundation started? What if he started the entire Foundation?
As they continue to hunt their only true equal and opposite, the Black Moon itself.
Stupid moon.
The hermit in his own eyes had failed at his duty. He had grown weary, and now he needed to pass the duty of counterbalance on to another. That other would be the boy. He felt a sudden and profound change, along with the knowledge that nothing would ever be the same.
You just casually give some kid that he spoke to for 4 minutes immortality and his lifelong quest?
Again, he was no longer just the boy. Now, he was the counterbalance. He watched the hermit give him a slight nod of respect, and then crumble into dust before his eyes.
Oh my god, bro, this is just a plot of Shazam all over again. Oh my god, he sees some little child and he's like,
Child, come closer. I will
give you eternal youth, immortality, and I will now die. Good luck, bye-bye.
The boy, the counterbalance, looked up at the sky and saw the stars twinkling, so bright and so beautiful. Little did he know his battle with the Black Moon would outlast every single one of them.
Oh my god, that's crazy! Battle with the Dark Moon would outlast the stars?
Does the Black Moon howl? Not without blood. The boy grew into a man as his village aged and then died around him. Decades passed, then centuries, then millennia. Tens of thousands of years watching humanity develop and grow around him as he continued his pursuit of that one elusive foe. As science and diagnostic technology gained
and he starts the Foundation, doesn't he? Shit, that's crazy.
Absorbing and then evolving beyond all the—
Dude got the bean quest from freaking Adventure Time. He just has to watch the beans.
Don't plant the beans!
Old superstitions, the counterbalance gained a better understanding of the Black Moon, though even then, it still remained essentially a stranger.
Like, what did he get?
The entity was entropic, a being of pure randomness and chaos without consistent form.
That is so not helpful.
It didn't exist in our universe, but it could exercise its influence here with so-called obliteration events, much like the horrible fate that befell the young hunter from the village. But that was only the proverbial tip of the iceberg. The counterbalance tracked and noted obliteration events. They were exceedingly rare at first, something that occurred once every 1,000 years or so, like a terrible curse. But he couldn't help but notice a concerning trend emerging.
Dude, if finding any form of trend in what the Black Moon is doing goes against everything we think we know about it, finding a trend proves that it's not chaos. Proving it not being chaos would be the biggest possible step to actually figuring anything out about it. While it's chaos, it's predictably unpredictable. That's wild.
It started happening once a century, then once a decade. He could feel the terrible future stretching out in front of him. How, over their shared eternity, the Black Moon would gain more and more ground. Would there come a day where it took someone once a year, once a month, a week, a day, an hour, a minute, a second? It'd spell the end of all conscious life.
Dude, that's insane.
Total victory for the Black Moon.
What is its goal here? Like, again, as far as we know, it's not conscious. It's just some sort of unconscious entity, like some sort of disease.
End of the universe, the death of ages. a complete existential obliteration.
That's what we're heading toward, right? So it's like an infinite reality that this black moon has with this other guy, right? They just have a future existence where the black moon slowly but surely wipes out all of consciousness and all of conscious life.
He was swept up in a sobering realization. He couldn't win this fight alone. However, while his hunt for the Black Moon had been largely fruitless, the counterbalance had discovered many other things along the way. Strange creatures, objects with extraordinary powers, and events that couldn't be explained with rational
Bro started discovering anomalies.
science. Perhaps something about these oddities, these anomalies, would hold the key to defeating his timeless enemy.
He started the foundation. He didn't build the foundation to contain the Black Moon. He built the foundation to find an anomaly he can use to destroy it. All this containing shit that he's been doing for all these years, containing anomalies, has just been a incredibly tiny, infinitesimal part of the plan of finding an anomaly that could stop the Black Moon, because that's the ultimate goal. He doesn't give a shit about if the reptile is in prison or if the reptile is killing random people. He doesn't care if the shy guy is just on some mountain somewhere killing tourists. He just wants to find something that could stop the Black Moon.
And it hadn't just
That's a mind-blowing origin story. Oh my god.
These objects.
What a twist.
Entities, and events. He'd also discovered some truly exceptional people on his travels, minds and skills that rivaled even his own, despite his age. Perhaps they would be the ones to help him win. With the 13 most brilliant and trusted people the Counterbalance ever met, he decided to form a council. And from this council, they forged and directed an organization dedicated to understanding and
Pre-watched!
and counteracting the strange in all its forms.
That's insane. What an awesome origin story. Holy crap. What a great freaking story and plotline.
With the secret
How it started. End the Black Moon before human extinction. How it's going. Infinite IKEA go brrr.
hope that their search into darkness would yield the answer to the Black Moon's downfall. He called it the SCP Foundation. They would secure the anomalous, contain it, and protect all of humanity from its influence. The Counterbalance also took on a new title, befitting of his new role, the Administrator. And even the Black Moon itself was given a moniker, in hopes of robbing it of some of its frightening power. SCP-001.
Dude, the 001s are all so good. They are so good. This is the third 001 I'm looking into. I've done the Scarlet King. I've done the When Day Breaks. Now I'm doing Black Moon. Dude, freaking great.
Does the Black Moon howl only at the blind? The year was now 1987. The SCP Foundation had been operating for over a century, and thanks to their secret possession of anomalous wisdom and technology, their own advancement was thousands of years ahead of the rest of humanity.
So the SCP, does it work with the government? I mean, it's obviously not controlled by the government. Some sort of private fund over here.
Well, there still wasn't a silver bullet solution to the Black Moon, and its deadly howls were becoming all the more frequent as the decades went on. The Foundation did have some irons in the fire to combat it. Their ability to gather intel on both the entity itself and its obliteration events had improved considerably, thanks to their new global information network.
Due to the power of furries on the internet, they are able to find out so much about the Black Moon.
Their top minds were also working on a highly classified device known as the Singular Conceptual Bunker, which may one day come in handy for combating the extra-dimensional entity directly.
The issue is you never know if it's working, because if the Black Moon is completely random, you could sit in your freaking temporal bunker all you want, and you just don't know if you were randomly chosen and protected. There is no possible way to actually know that you stopped the Black Moon. That's so scary. There's no way to actually know that.
But the most valuable piece of information they ever gathered about the Black Moon was this. It couldn't howl when it was being watched.
This is just a weeping angel.
The very act of engaged observation defanged it.
That's so interesting, right? Because, again, that is the power of consciousness. Whoever wrote the Black Moon is a fucking legend. So, you know Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, I presume, right? Everyone here studied quantum physics like me. But Heisenberg's uncertainty principle is as follows. that as long as there is a conscious mind that is observing something, that is what brings it into existence. For example, Schrodinger's cat theory, the cat is in both you put a cat in a room with no observer and 2 buttons. One button, the cat lives, one button, the cat dies. Pushes a button, you don't know which button it pushed. Right now, the cat is in both a state of alive and dead until a conscious observer looks into the room, sees if the cat's alive or dead, and then boom, it collapses the wave function of reality, bringing the cat into a state of either life or death. It's the conscious observer that creates reality. So maybe the reason why you have the Black Moon destroying and erasing people's conscious minds from existence is because they are the only thing that creates a reality aside from some sort of god. They take away the agency of someone like some entity like the Black Moon. So the Black Moon is going after conscious minds, but as long as a conscious mind is looking at the moon, it is literally taking away the moon's power. That is so cool! I'm sorry.
How can you observe something that doesn't technically exist inside your own reality? In order to pull this off, the Foundation would need to get extremely creative. Thankfully, creative solutions to strange problems are the Foundation's specialty. Flash forward to 1993.
Okay.
Enter Dr. Moto, a brilliant young scientist and conceptual engineer working for the SCP Foundation. With the administrator's consultation, he started the Key Project, an arm of the wider Project Oromasdes, the umbrella initiative for using modified anomalous objects in the battle against the Black Moon. The goal of the
Utilize those anomalies!
Key Project was relatively simple. If people couldn't observe the Black Moon directly, then the Foundation could make proxies of the Black Moon that could be observed, almost like a kind of voodoo doll.
Voodoo doll? Twitter, cancel this man. They just said voodoo. They just used a closed religion for their own purposes like that.
These new anomalies would only need to satisfy 3 criteria: the inability to operate when being observed, a hostility to conscious life, and the ability to end conscious life of their own volition when not being observed. Through conceptual engineering, a link theoretically could be forged between these objects and the Black Moon, allowing observation of them to stop the obliteration events. However, despite being a good idea in theory, Dr. Moto's efforts were marred with errors and tragedies. One object—
Oh my god, dude. It's like, hey, this'll probably work. Proceeds to not work and people now die because of you. Listen, we've all made mistakes.
wasn't deadly enough, simply appearing behind people in a threatening pose when they weren't looking. Another one killed purely through collateral damage, a giant sculpture of a human head that immediately attempted escape by barging through Site-01, the Center for Anti-Black Moon Operations, and killing 19 people in the process. Another one of Moto's objects, a huge black sphere, simply immediately exploded, killing 12 people.
Oh my god! Do you have any idea how many people they killed? They killed more people than the Black Moon killed, alright? Just trying to figure out a way to stop it.
And in the most horrific misstep of all, one of Moto's objects caused a mass death event in a nearby hotel, where 142 people were spontaneously incinerated when the object, a series of interlocking stalactites and stalagmites, were left unobserved for 0.2 seconds.
Dude, that's awful. Like, how is that acceptable? How is it acceptable? Or, I mean, I guess, listen, that's what the SCP Foundation's all about. Their morals do not operate on the same level as theirs. In the mind of this administrator guy, every single step taken to destroy the Black Moon is worth it.
Almost all of Moto's objects were terminated in the aftermath, either being too useless or too dangerous to keep around. The young scientist felt a deep shame, but forged on. He made one truly brilliant creation that satisfied all the criteria: a sculpture.
Oh my god. He created SCP-173 as like a de facto mini Black Moon, so that if they could find a way to consistently observe the sculpture, they could find a way to stop the Black Moon too. How iconic that the sculpture's the first SCP.
Incapable of moving while being watched, but would snap the neck of the nearest conscious entity if it left unobserved for even a fraction of a second. Its relatively minimal killing left it easy to contain without causing mass deaths, and despite all of the other deaths that had sadly occurred during the Key Project, Dr. Moto believed that the lives saved in
Moto Lexio.
the long run by stopping the Black Moon's howls would justify the sacrifice. The problem is, the Key Project didn't stop anything. Not long after this, there was the first recorded double obliteration event in Rome, where a young tourist couple had both been obliterated simultaneously.
That is so bad, because if that is random, the chances are so astronomically low.
All the deaths in the Key Project had been for nothing. The Black Moon was only getting more powerful. The shame and the guilt was too much.
And now they have this stupid SCP-173, this indestructible sculpture that snaps the neck of anything that doesn't look at it. Even the lizard, the immortal reptile, is scared of SCP-173.
For Dr. Moto, he left a note in his office reading, "We've been looking at nothing. I'm sorry, Administrator. I failed you, sir." Moto's corpse was later found in the sculpture's temporary...
Oh my god, he went to the sculpture to kill himself. And all those hundreds of people that died because of him proved nothing because the Black Moon wasn't stopped.
containment chamber. His neck snapped. The Key Project was, in summary, shut down, and its one surviving creation transported to Site 19 in late 1993, where it was designated as SCP-173. Another painful failure for the Administrator. Back to the drawing board once more.
Dude, that is crazy. What a rich story, the Black Moon story. I love it.
Does the Black Moon howl? Not while the stars shine. Millennia stretched on. Almost everyone died except the Administrator thanks to his gift. Or perhaps curse, as the counterbalance to the Black Moon. Science marched on. The SCP Foundation marched on. But all this progress, all this power, was nothing against the incomprehensible influence of SCP-001. The Black Moon was howling more frequently than ever, all the way up to the year 3156.
Wait, what? This story stretches 1,000 years into the future of the SCP Foundation?
When the Foundation launched the Seek Project.
The Foundation still didn't collapse. That's insane.
Under the support of Project Oromastes. As more and more people were wiped out in frequent obliteration events, the Administrator became
Don't shoot, this man is black.
painfully aware that perhaps the answers to the Black Moon problem wouldn't be found on Earth. Using state-of-the-art technology, with a little help from the anomalous, the SCP Foundation began work on an autonomous spacefaring vessel that could search the stars for the key to the Black Moon's destruction.
Dude.
It was an awe-inspiring creation. A huge craft powered by artificial intelligence with a universal translator, cryogenic units, and hundreds of autonomous drones to perform more targeted searches.
ChatGPT, the only way to destroy the Black Moon!
Seek was waved off into the unforgiving depths of space. The Administrator could only hope that it would come back with worthwhile answers. The first of the three notable planets Seek arrived on was one theoretically capable of supporting human life, except for its brutal and constant blizzards and snowstorms. When Seek's drones were deployed, signs of civilization based around sentient spherical creatures, but no signs of actual life remained. Records and statues found across the planet seem to indicate that the Black Moon was responsible for the destruction of the planet's civilization, causing—
Wait, this is a planet that can have human life, and they go, and they find out that there was life, only that the Black Moon wasn't stopped here, and it just erased every piece of conscious life.
So many obliteration events that the remaining survivors went mad from the fear and stress, leading to mass death in the ensuing chaos. The next planet was discovered centuries later, in the year 3499. While this planet could also theoretically support human life, it suffered from frequent volcanic eruptions that rendered much of its surface a flaming mess. However, there were still the dormant ruins of a once advanced civilization of conscious beings.
Oh my God.
Much like the prior planet, they'd been driven extinct by Black Moon obliteration events a century before the Seek even arrived.
Dude.
Unlike the last planet, however, it seems that they accepted their fate and went gently into the night. The planet was now overrun by billions of armored bat-like creatures that operated on pure instinct, and thus were not considered conscious enough to be obliterated. The final planet was reached in 3764, and was the most fruitful of the three discoveries.
Let's go.
This planet was hyper-advanced, fully urbanized, and covered in sprawling megacities, with records and technology over 1,000 years ahead of Earth. Before the Black Moon killed almost all of them,
They're mushroom people!
there were a species of humanoid telepathic fungi, and had developed an awareness of the Black Moon's existence that was on par with that of humanity's.
Yo! Okay.
They even had their own equivalent of
But it obviously didn't work.
the SCP Foundation actively working on countermeasures. And
God.
most amazingly of all,
But it didn't work.
Seek found one surviving member of the species on the planet, cryogenically frozen. The craft was
I would think that they would freeze a lot more of themselves, right? Like you'd think, because you're not conscious while you're cryogenically frozen. You'd think that they would be like, at least hope somebody out there somewhere would stop the Black Moon.
Immediately instructed to collect the survivor and return home for interrogation. The administrator was preparing for what could be the most important conversation since he met the Hermit all those thousands of years ago.
Shit, that's crazy.
Oh, does the Black Moon howl? Only when waning. When the surviving creature, codenamed Sage, was returned to Earth, the administrator was eager to finally—
Dude, I'm afraid the second they unfreeze this guy, he's just gonna insta-die.
Like the rest of its now extinct species, Sage spoke through powerful telepathic mind waves, which only the administrator, thanks to his counterbalance abilities, was able to receive at close range without being harmed.
Okay.
Incidentally, it wasn't long until the very fact of the administrator's nature as a counterbalance came up in the mental conversation. Sage could tell, just by being in his presence. They discovered a number of vital truths over their brief time communicating. That Sage's survival had been pure luck, for starters. The Black Moon is
Its survivor's been luck. Of course it's been luck, because the point of the moon is chaos. It is entropy. So there is no way to plan yourself surviving.
still very much
Right.
capable of obliterating conscious beings in an unconscious state.
So there were others that were cryogenically frozen, but they just died too? Anything that had consciousness is a target here? So it's just luck that he survived. It's literally just luck.
Administrator also learned that he was merely the latest in an extremely long line of counterbalances across time, space, and species. Though everyone but him had waived this duty, passed it on. Sage had one question to ask the administrator in turn. What is SCB? The singular conceptual bunker being worked on and—
Okay, I was like, okay, dude, there's no way you're gonna just give the mushroom guy, the telepathic mushroom, an accent, but okay.
perfected for thousands of years by now by the Foundation's top scientists and conceptual engineers. The administrator replied, "Victory, but it will take a very, very long time. Specifically, so long that he would see the stars go out around him, one by one."
It's a bunker meant to outlive life, because the only time the Black Moon is actually gonna stop and die is when there's no more life to take. So they made a bunker to outlive life itself.
Shocked, Sage asked him what good victory would do him then. Rather than say it aloud, he replied with a thought. Sage paused and said, "I see. How blasphemous of you. Hopefully it works." After this, the
Wait,
administrator
it's not gonna tell us? It's not gonna tell us what he thought to him? Oh my god.
proceeded to the singular conceptual bunker and entered it, leaving instructions for the Foundation to be run by a newly formed O5 Council in his indefinite absence. Thousands of years later, in the year 5011, Sage spoke one more time, repeating the words, "Hopefully, hopefully," before turning solid black and disappearing. The Black Moon had claimed one more victim, but billions more had gone in the interim. The administrator had no more answers to give. At least, no more answers that anyone but him would understand. He was inside the singular conceptual bunker now, loaded into a device known as Tome, an experimental memorial module meant to pick up and record all the last messages of every dying civilization across the universe when the time—
Dude, at this point, does he even try? Is he even getting more information, or did he completely give up on the ability to stop it before all life dies? Dude, this one is such a mindfuck. Oh my god. I was so not ready for this.
finally came. All he could do was wait, and wait was exactly what we did.
Dude, honestly, the freaking balls on this man. Dude is so stubborn. He's willing to live a life in a bunker for millennia until all of life in the universe dies, because that's his purpose.
Does the Black Moon howl? Yes. Yes, it does. Years pass, too many to count. It's a time after names now, and Tome
Oh
sits
my god, this went from a time before names to a time after names.
in the very center, drinking in the end of the universe. The last of all the human colonies across the universe were obliterated by the Black Moon back in the year 7329. So long ago. But some of the final messages of fear, panic, and distress still echoed around in the administrator's mind. Hello? Is there anyone here? We require
What?
assistance. It's taking people every day.
Just all life. Okay, humans are already gone, whatever. Skill issue, humans are gone, skill issue. It's not even, is it not containable, but at some point there will be some sort of telepathic entity out there that is alive that has no chance against the Black Moon.
We need help. There's barely anyone left. We need help. Hello? Hello? Cabal 0943, we have abandoned the false flesh. We have abandoned the false flesh. The shepherd's crook broken neath my knee. Cabal 0943, Cabal 0943, forgive us! Forgive us!
Dude, it's just different religions, different cultures all dying around him, and he's just forced to observe.
We're going to leave this on. It's so dark outside now. It's blotted out the sun. I have to go now.
Respond. First convenience. Emergency. Situation developing. Require additional resources.
This is the best SCP I've ever seen, for sure.
My fault, your fault, our fault, my fault, your fault, our fault, my fault, your fault, our fault! Rip my brain out now, rip my brain out now!
And a small child, the last on Earth, simply asking, hello? Into an indifferent microphone. But the administrator had to wait.
It's not just an indifferent microphone. It's saying hello to a world devoid of life. Imagine the last one, just before being taken. This is like an existence of madness. How did this administrator guy not break? How is he so convicted to just live his life just for the purpose of outliving life itself?
As the singular conceptual bunker became the solitary conceptual bunker. He was the last conscious being in the universe.
Oh my god. Dude has warrior mentality out the wazoo. This dude ain't donating to Twitch streamers, that's for sure.
And still he needed to wait, as the stars went dark outside. Only when there was nothing outside but black was it finally time for the Counterbalance's long game to play off. There was
What was the long game? What is it?
nothing left of our universe. The only thing here was the...
How is the Earth not blown up? How is he not frozen? How didn't... Once the sun dies... Okay, whatever. Let's not ask these questions!
SCP and the Black Moon itself. With everything else gone, the Black Moon only had one conscious being left to obliterate. It opened the door to the solitary conceptual bunker.
Wait, the Black Moon opened the door?
And stepped inside. This doesn't make sense.
No, that doesn't make any sense at all.
How can the Black Moon, an entity beyond our dimension, beyond physical form, take a step? Good question. The same question, incidentally, that was going through the Black Moon's mind as it entered the bunker. It didn't look at all how the entity expected.
What?
It was like a bar, a counter, with rows of bottles.
I am so confused. I am literally so confused. Why does I didn't think the moon was conscious. I thought the whole point was the moon is not conscious, and it's erasing consciousness.
Behind it, a jukebox playing in the corner. A man stood behind the bar cleaning the glasses. The counterbalance. The administrator. He said, well, there you are. Certainly took your time. Can I pour you a little something? This only served to increase the Black Moon's confusion. It had form here. Dark smoke compressed into a vaguely humanoid shape. It could...
Steve from Minecraft.
Speak. It could think. None of this made any sense. The being...
But is this just singularity? Is this like the concept, like a pantheistic view of the universe? That once all of the universe is just compressed into one being, that becomes some sort of conscious god? Like, and only now that all of life is destroyed can it actually take this shape?
That had just wiped out all conscious life and seen the very death of the universe was truly and utterly confused. The administrator just seemed to be enjoying himself, preparing for a confrontation hundreds of billions of years in the making.
Oh my
The singular
God.
conceptual bunker, or perhaps the singular containment bunker, was a truly ingenious creation.
Okay, dude, we are getting to the twist. What is this? What is happening? What is this story?
A place of pure ideas, where everything inside was on the same level. Here there were no immortals, no gods, just ideas on the same level playing field. And it was time for the Black Moon's idea to come to an end. It was a trap, and the entire universe was the bait.
Oh my fucking god, that is the craziest lore in the world.
Without warning, the administrator pulled up a shotgun from underneath the table.
America! America!
and unleash both barrels into the Black Moon's chest. The creature took the hit and fought back, dragging the administrator to the ground, beating him, strangling him. He could feel the light fading under the monster's relentless assault.
Wait, what?
Until he managed
He's just gonna get choked to death?
to get his desperate hands on a glass ashtray. He beat the monster over the head with it until its grip loosened, and he was able to slide out. There, the killer of the universe was on the ground before him. He grabbed the monster, held it in place, and beat it to death.
Oh my god.
He was gravely injured by the battle, but the Black Moon was no more. Here in the singular conceptual bunker,
It's a conceptual bunker. That's why they kept calling it a singular conceptual bunker, because everything becomes a concept, becomes a state of mind. And the Black Moon's biggest flaw, as well as its greatest strength, was the fact that it was completely incorporeal. In a state where every state of mind just becomes just a simple equal mindset, this is the only place to end a universal destroyer.
he had won.
Bro,
The
Administrator would beat Goku.
administrator, no longer the counterbalance in the absence of the Black Moon, hobbled over to the jukebox, produced a single beautiful coin from his pocket. He pushed the coin into the slot, wheezed a pained breath, and said, "The thing is, this place is only information. There's nothing else out there. Not even matter. The universe closed its doors a long time ago. But this place can go from information back to matter with just the press of a button." Let's see what happens when we introduce something
Into nothing. He makes a big bang. Oh my god, that's the craziest story in the world. He waited hundreds of billions of years. He waited infinite time to reset the universe without the Black Moon. This is the ultimate story.
nothing. For a second, it looks as though he might fall, but he doesn't. Instead, he slams the button on the jukebox and with a relieved laugh says, "Let there be light." And
Get it? Get it?
there was light. Now go check out SCP-001, which is the real 001, and SCP-001-EX.
That was crazy. That was insane. I mean, this is a good explanation for how there are multiple SCP-001s, because this entire universe and all of time in this universe was just combating the Black Moon. Now you could have other SCP-001 proposals in a new universe. That story blew my mind. This was by far, bar none, the best SCP that I have seen so far. Like, dude, not even close. There is nothing that I've seen so far that is even close. That was nuts. I literally have chills. Holy crap. If you made it to the end, click one of these two videos, which also will definitely get me canceled. See you live on Cake. Stay weird, fam.